And it looks like we're live. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. This is Renegade Operative here, and welcome to the 7th episode of the Co-Operative Podcast. This intro will be pleasantly short because, first off, we got a lot of topics in this document, and naturally, we need to get through them all in a timely fashion. So, we're just going to cut the formalities and we're going to get straight into business. First, we have up on the table Mr. Levy the Amish Man, Mr. Fegit, Mr. Motherfucker, Mr. Booty Overlord. Introduce yourself.
Hi, I am the Booty Overlord, and I'm not the guy who's the king of the homos.
Oh, shut the fuck up. Alright, the second... Oh, fuck off. Let me introduce the other guy. The second person that we have to introduce is Mr. Doc Stalkers once again. Introduce yourself, Mr. Doc Stalkers.
Hi, everybody. Always nice to be here.
Always good to have you, man. The next person that we have to introduce is Mr. Daybreaker Rain. Introduce yourself, good sir.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? I'm a video game and anime enthusiast, and I'm glad to be on the show.
Always good to have all you guys. All these guests are awesome, so it's always good to have you. Reapers, introduce yourself.
Yo, where's Alex? Hey, what's going on, everybody?
8 ounces scrub. Hashtag
Alex
that.
is dead.
Everybody shut up. Go ahead.
Bow Devil Dom, introduce yourself.
How's it going tonight, guys? Dom. I actually just recently got promoted to being a host now on the TCP, so that's awesome, and I can't wait to get this podcast started.
Oh yeah, just a little bit of news. We have a couple of new regulars. Definitely Dom and Daybreaker. New regulars, welcome to have them aboard. It's always good to see passionate gamers in this community come together and talk to each other. So we're going to get to the rest of the introduction, which is Mr. Arcane Magic. Introduce yourself, Brandon.
What's up, everybody? Glad to be back, and it's gonna be a fun night. And more slander. Don't worry, I will be the ringleader.
And we'll kick the ringleader out on his ass in a ball of fire. So,
Man, go fuck your panda.
fuck you.
You fell into a burning ring of fire, dude.
Next up, we have a special guest from Season 2 of The Tester, Mr. Invisible King. Introduce yourself, good sir.
It's a pleasure to meet you all, gentlemen. And by the way, my name on Season 2 of The Tester was Samurai, so in case you know of me, here I am.
Yeah, that definitely was a revelation that I did not see coming. Always good to have him on board. We're going to ask him some short questions, and we're going to get his opinion on, video game testers and what route that they should take. But the last person that we have... Wait, I said last person. I mean, we have the casual Mr. Devil Hunter James.
You're a filthy casual. Also, what's up, guys? And I can confirm it, Brandon, now there will be lots of slander.
Yes. Moderators of slander. And the last person that we have to introduce is Mr. Captain Chaos, one of my new co-hosts. Captain Chaos, introduce yourself.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Glad to be here, and I'm definitely glad to be one of the new co-hosts. It's a great honor, and I appreciate it. So I hope you guys enjoy the podcast. I will definitely be enjoying it.
Captain Casual.
Oh, I can't believe Dom messed up his intro saying that he was a regular and he's a host. I just noticed that.
I thought I said I was a host.
I'm gonna
But-
Yeah, that's why you had to bring it up.
Well, I swear you said regular, but we have two new co-hosts, so Mr. Bow Devil Dom and Mr. Chaos are co-hosts of the show now. It's always good to have them. They really bring a lot of support to the table, and frankly, that's just a good thing that we need to keep everything rolling just in case. In the unlikely event that I'm not around, because as you guys noticed, this podcast was on delay for like at least a good month. That's
Shit,
because-
fucking forever.
yeah,
Technical difficulties, man.
Yeah, it felt like a long time since we even did another one of these.
I really
Renegade internet sucks. Just saying.
Yeah,
that is
confirmed.
true. Yeah, I had big time internet issues.
Blame FedEx.
So, so we're gonna get around to things. Hopefully everything will be good from here. So we're gonna get into the document, jump right in, and not to bullshit
I have the
anyone. So we have the main questions up.
Oh, there it is.
Anyone want to go first?
I can go first, actually. So I actually want to start off with the very first one, because I was going to do a video on this, so let's begin with this.
Go ahead.
Capcom has officially confirmed that Resident Evil will be getting more HD remasters in the form of Resident Evil 6, 5, and 4 re-released in that order for current gen consoles on platforms like the PS4 and Xbox One. Still no Wii U release for whatever reason. What is your opinion on these games coming onto the current gen and once again being re-released?
Resident Evil 6 sucks.
Yeah, I'm with the Resident Evil 6 sucks bandwagon. I'm more of a fan of 5, and well, 4 is good because Leon Kennedy, but yeah.
7
Gentlemen,
ports.
one at a time.
Sorry, I'm a fan of good games.
8 ports technically.
That's
Because
even
the
worse.
Wii edition
That
got
was
ported
10.
over to the Wii U.
Well, I guess when the PS5 comes out, we'll see it there too.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Yeah, I can understand that Resident Evil 4 was a spectacular game, but at this point, they're just really beating the dead horse. I think that I said this long ago that I necessarily don't mind Resident Evil 5, and to some extent, 4 again, but they really need to get on the train of releasing new games for this series. They're really rehashing stuff, and all the new stuff that they are releasing turns out to be disappointing. Like Umbrella Corps, of course. I just could not stand those new interviews. Those new interviews where they supposedly interviewed the gamers, and they were obviously paid shills under the table saying how great it was. I obviously haven't played it, so I can't say it's great. So I'm definitely, really iffy about some of the choices that they've been making with this series so far.
Yeah, like I'm not the biggest Resident Evil guy. I've played a few games in the series. And I do enjoy them. I think them doing the Resident Evil 2 remake was a step in the right direction, and them releasing the the HD versions of Resident Evil 0 and Resident Evil remake was a good decision. Like, fans, I think they should have taken a hint that, so many fans appreciate that they went back to the older games and did something with those. People want more of that. We don't want more of the modern Resident Evil 6 type games, Michael Bay action set pieces.
Yeah, it felt more
Not
like an
only that-
Uncharted game than Resident Evil. That's how bad it was.
Oh, not only that, with Chaos Point, Zero and Remake were very popular.
And now they sold pretty big, didn't they?
Yep.
At least the first Remake did. Not sure about Zero.
Well, the remake of the first Resident Evil sold really well, didn't it?
Yes,
If I'm not mistaken.
So
yeah.
it
So they
sold
should get
really
the
well. It was one of the games to pull Capcom out of financial debt.
Wasn't? Oh, it was that DMC.
It was right alongside DMC4, Revelations 2 remake, and Monster Hunter, I think.
Yeah, and I mean Revelations 2, like, people might have mixed opinions on those games, but it's a step in the right direction. But then they go back to doing like shit like Umbrella Corps, and it's like, what are you doing? Like, that's not what nobody wants this.
Well, we all know that Moira's the hottest.
I didn't ask for this.
No, she's not.
Moira's
That
garbage.
dildo line killed it.
Moira's the
yeah.
hottest.
Yeah, Claire, best waifu. Yes,
Nope.
sir.
Jill
In regards to
Translation:
In
fattest
regard-
ass.
in regards to Revelations 2, the only thing that, or I'm sorry, not Revelations 2, but action-based titles for the Resident Evil franchise, the action-based games from Capcom aren't bad so long as they don't try to force it onto Resident Evil, and that's the problem. As far as these re-releases go, I don't have a problem with them per se. In Resident Evil 4's case especially, because we never got a physical copy when that got an HD remaster back on PS3 and 360, so I'm kind of okay with this re-release. I kind of wish they would be doing Code Veronica as well, though, because that also needs a physical disc. But that's just my stance on it.
Yeah,
Also,
last-
isn't that just a downloadable thing on the 360?
It supposedly is still downloadable stuff. I don't know why. Capcom's been doing this weird thing like since they started doing digital a lot. They've been doing it very often, and if you want a physical copy, then you would probably have to import it.
You have to either
Japan has
import it. You either have to import it, and for whatever reason, they only do it for PS3. And even if there is a PS4 version, like Remake HD had this issue where you cannot get a physical PS4 version, and if you did import the quote-unquote PS4 version, it was just the game box and the soundtrack to the game for Remake. And that's what the problem is. It's like they'll do that, and then later down the line they'll release a physical version for the game that they should have released a physical version to begin with. And I mean, I don't know about anybody else in here, and I'd personally be okay with them releasing it later down the line, just as long as they say they're going to do that and not just kind of make people second guess.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think that they would turn a bigger profit if they just release worldwide as opposed to doing it in one country and then when something bad happens, they're like, well, this game failed in this area. That's sort of some of the same problems that they had with Resident Evil Remake. The game was phenomenal by every stretch of the imagination, but they failed because it was only on the GameCube and it wasn't multi-platform.
Yeah, which is why it did so well when it got remade.
I didn't know Resident Evil 0 failed, actually. Is that true?
Yep. It failed so bad that
it failed because of exclusivity.
Well, the thing is that it failed so bad that people thought it was a new game when Capcom announced it.
Ouch.
They didn't know that it was an HD remaster. The game was so obscure that people just did not know about it.
I never heard of it either.
I actually didn't know it was that that obscure because I thought more people knew about that. I mean, I'm not a huge Resident Evil fan. I knew about Resident Evil 0. I actually have the original GameCube copy of it.
So, I think moving on to the next topic, I think that someone else should pick out of the batch. Who wants to do that? How about you, James?
Okay, then.
Alright, why not?
Levy wanted to go. You can go next.
No. What you said.
What? Pick out of the batch?
You said that you do James.
No, I said James could pick.
I'm flattered, but no thank you.
So much slander tonight.
I don't even know what the fuck Levy's on. He's drunk.
Alright, I got
Actually, no, I'm not. I'm sober.
You bitch.
I want to see you drunk.
Shut up.
That's why you like
James, please pick a question, James.
Alright, after playing much of the Division beta, whether it will be closed or open versions, what is your overall opinion of the product? Did Ubisoft deliver? What are your lingering nitpicks compared to your thoughts on whether Ubisoft could deliver initially? Did you believe it's been downgraded graphically within Ubisoft tradition? And overall, will you be buying the Division on launch day?
I have no comment.
I think that the problem with the beta was that there wasn't much to do in it, and there wasn't really much to unlock in the beta.
The Dark Zone seemed like the main attraction.
Yeah, and compared to the Rainbow Six Siege beta, it was a bit underwhelming, but it was a fun beta, and I think I'll be getting it, just not on launch day.
Yeah, I haven't played the game, but I've seen reviews of it. And from what people have said, it's basically like the same thing with Borderlands, where it works off of this whole loot system, where it's basically the Dark Zone is the main attraction, like James said. You go into the Dark Zone, you can kill other players and take their loot, but contrastly, you can also be killed and lose all the loot you get. So unless you get out of the Dark Zone with that loot, and
you have to extract it, and you have to wait for the helicopter to leave.
Then you just lose all that loot. So it's basically works off this whole addiction factor where you just play the game just for the loot, and I don't know. To me, there would have to be a little bit more to it than that. I can see why people would like that, but I don't know. After a while, for me at least, it would get it gets kind of repetitive. But
it is very risk reward, for the Dark Zone stuff. And then outside of that, you have the main missions, which are, don't get me wrong, I do commend them for doing 4-player co-op in the sort of mission-based structured system. However, at the same time, it's outside of that, everything else felt a little bit burned to me. It wasn't many activities to do besides just hop in the Dark Zone or do those additional missions. So.
From what I saw of the gameplay, that's stuff other than the Dark Zone, where you just it's basically you just fighting off these basically these hooded thugs, and it's kind of stupid to me because you're apparently this guy who's got all this fucking armor and shit, and you're fighting these guys who are just wearing hoods, hoodies, and they take so much damage from your bullet.
Yeah.
It takes so many bullets.
Yeah, the AI is a bit of a nuisance, but at the same time, it's like there's not. Other than that, there's not much to do. I would like if they open the game up like they said they're going to with the 5 boroughs, but apparently they are saying also that there's not going to be any microtransactions. I don't trust Ubisoft on that at all.
Even if they do, that doesn't mean there won't be DLCs or season passes.
Yeah, I
there
think
is a
there's
season pass. And
Exactly.
There is DLC,
Yeah, there's the
so-
gold edition of it.
That's my point.
Yeah, so
Like,
they already
yeah.
skimmed on their promise of that.
One problem that I had with the beta was that the weapon skins were really hard to find, and there was no way to like actually find them frequently or just be able to purchase them through a weapon shop. From my understanding, there is supposed to be like a weapon skin vendor within the full game. So, because my problem with it was that like I would see so many people like getting them frequently, or I would see other players in the Dark Zone, they would have them, and I'm just like, okay, well, how come I'm not able to find them, and I'm doing the particular methods that people said that you have to do in order to get them frequently, and it's just not working. So I hope that stays true on Ubisoft's part in terms of like fixing frequent drops and whatnot.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that they have to fix. In particular, there's a lot of glitches with the getting stuck in place or players not being able to see you. They need to fix that as well because
They did.
They did?
Yeah, on the open beta they fixed it. That was funny. I had a very
Wow.
short stream of me trolling people with that glitch.
All right, I must ask. When they see you, can you like kill them or whatever? Considering the fact that you can see them now and they're not on your team, or are they on your team?
What do you mean?
Like when you fill up the slots of 4 people and you can see the other people, are they just basically random until you shoot them?
In the Dark Zone?
Yes.
Anybody that's not on our team are just random people, and you can shoot them if you want to.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know because
It's open war.
Yeah, and you do get a countdown timer and a warning mark when you first shoot them, because that just kind of warns them that you just shot them by accident, because there is that quote-unquote friendly fire until you do actually become rogue.
Yeah, I know. So that's the only problem that I had with the initial beta, is that for some weird reason, if you wanted to party up with other people, you just couldn't see them on the map. I'm glad that they fixed that and adhered to that, but yeah, there's some stuff going on with the drops that are questionable. There's a lot of things that we haven't seen, like how they're going to open up with the city and the whole microtransaction thing. Like I said, I really don't trust Ubisoft on that, so it is a lot to see, but the core game overall can have its fundamental moments. It's much fun with friends than playing alone, because obviously if you're alone in a Dark Zone, you're probably going to get fucked. Yeah. It's going to be a whole team of 4 and just you, that one person, so I would say best of luck on that if you're going alone. It's definitely fun with friends. I probably won't be picking it up on launch. It's very, very enticing, but I probably will be getting it sometime in April.
I think that, like, personally, my money is going to be going towards Dark Souls 3 because it's coming out
hype train.
a month after, and I just don't feel like The Division is worth $60 personally. It's a fun game. I just don't think it's like $60, fun.
Yeah, there's really just not enough to offer to warrant
Not
$60.
yet, anyways.
Yeah, not yet. I will say it needs a little bit more time to be fleshed out, and then maybe down the line I would pick it up. I get the same sort of sentiments with Siege. Like, I didn't think personally that was a $60 game, but when I played it and the fun factor kicked in, it was something worthwhile.
Yeah, maybe not $60, but yeah, I would say maybe I would still get Siege at least over Division. Honestly, I could see how that would be more fun, in my opinion.
As a personal recommendation, I'm just gonna say that people should save their money for Uncharted, because after playing that multiplayer, that was particularly fun as hell.
Yeah, I mean not just for the game itself, but also the multiplayer is good too. So that's a good way to keep
That
going
Uncharted
back to the game.
multiplayer is crack.
It is.
Yeah.
Crack.
Okay.
I like what they did with the totems and everything. That was interesting. The
Totem
powers.
fucking terrifying.
So I guess I'm going to move on and pick out another question. Also, James, you're a screw up for not marking these off.
I did mark them. Oh, mark them up? I could do that myself, yeah.
Yeah.
Fine.
So I'm gonna pick out a question.
Yeah, I'm gonna mark out the first one that he already asked, and the other one.
I marked out the 4 already, so.
I marked out the first one.
And I think Levy wanted to go next.
Oh,
Actually,
shit.
I didn't care. I didn't care which one, dude.
You sure? You
Oh.
sure you don't want to take it?
I could.
But I'll take the opportunity. Yes, I will take the
next.
opportunity.
Oh, okay.
So many options. Oh yeah, Dying Light: The Following Spotlight Edition is over $10 million to purchase. What are your thoughts about that?
Ridiculous. No one's going to buy it.
What exactly does that come with?
Beyond ridiculous.
I actually forgot. I remember one of the things it comes with is you can go. They're apparently doing a Dying Light movie, so you can like be on the set of it or be a extra in it or something.
Hold on. Didn't they have like a Dying Light sort of you own your own island thing like a while ago?
No, that was just
No.
Three.
One of them is includes speaking role in movie.
Oh, because I was under the impression that they had that.
Okay, here's what it comes with. Comes with supporting role in Dying Light, the movie, action scene, speaking role, professional acting lessons from Roger Craig Smith, a screening tour, an original copy of the script, off-road driving course, a stuntman parkour training, personal set trailer on set, 10 VIP tickets for opening night, a makeup session, become the voice of Kyle Crane, and 4 copies of Dying Light: The Following Enhanced Edition.
What the
That's
fuck? They
trash.
trying to turn you into fucking Tom Cruise and shit?
No, it's not. No, Tom Cruise? Fuck no. It makes you. It's turning you into a
Wait,
sellout.
hold on. Why would they give you 4 copies of the game, like of the enhanced edition
Give
or
it to
whatever?
your friend.
Because one's not enough.
Yeah, I don't know.
I feel
Why
like
not?
that's not worth $10 million. Like, in the last game, the last Dying Light had a particular edition like this where you can get like your own zombie bunker, and it still was not worth the amount they were charging you for it. You know?
Yeah, I heard about that actually. That
You know what
Yeah,
this
you
sounds
can
like?
get like, you can literally, they would literally sell you a bunker, fucking diapers, the game.
What the fuck?
I remember this.
Wait, diapers? What?
Yeah, I shit you not. They
Yeah,
would sell you
diapers.
diapers.
I
thought-
now
I
you,
thought Dom
now
was
you made it
joking,
worse.
but-
You said I shit you not. Now, god damn it.
I shit you not. Now you're gonna shit your pants. Take this fucking diaper.
You know what other game did this?
Amnesia: The Dark Descent Collector's Edition comes with brown pants.
Remember, guys. Wear your brown pants. The enemies won't know if you shit yourself.
Didn't Saints Row 4 do this offer thing?
Yes. Yeah, Saints Row 4 did it, but it was only $1 million, and you got like a crap ton of shit.
It's
Like
still
you got like 2
ridiculous.
cars that were Saints themed. You got like a world round trip, like all this crap. But it was way cheaper, and it actually kind of almost was enticing just because it was like only $1 million as opposed to 10. Like, I don't
Well,
know
the
if anybody ever bought that though.
Damn, $1 million? That's
Is there
pocket
any,
change.
Well, then again,
Somebody had to have been crazy enough to do it.
Dude, there's some.
yeah. So
crazy
no,
fuck
someone's
out
like,
there.
I love Dying Light. I'm gonna be a part of the movie.
Yeah, there's some crazy
Yeah,
fuck out there
I'm
that
a
buy it.
movie star.
Because I remember a particular gaming story where there was an instance where someone wanted to I said tea, fuck.
Someone wants some tea.
Yeah, I want some tea right now, but there
Someone
was
wants
a
some iced tea.
there was a particular
Some
story.
Arizona tea.
There was a
Shut up.
particular story where someone wanted the Call of Duty game. I don't know which one it was. I think it was Advanced Warfare. They wanted it a week early, and they paid like about almost $15K for it.
Jesus
Damn.
Christ.
I call it Call of Duty dog.
Wait, hold on. They paid $15,000 just for the game, just to get it early.
Yeah, a week in advance.
Why?
I have no
Wow.
idea. It's,
Because humans are stupid.
Because people are dumb.
You might as well just suck the developer's dick while you're at
I
it.
have to get the
What?
10
Fucking
prestige
life.
before everyone else.
oh my god, it's the most ridiculous thing ever. Like, if the game is already, if the base game is unchanged $60, I don't know why you want this lavish, extravagant shit unless you want to live this high life that people are putting on. Then yeah, I can see that catering to people who like to waste their money, but at the same time, it's, you know, if it's the base game you want, I don't think it's worth all that money.
Oh,
to be
you
honest.
know what? Speaking of Call of Duty, you know what did
Good.
have a cool collector's edition was Black Ops 3 because that came with the Juggernaut fridge.
Oh man,
That
that's
was
fucking awesome.
Like
Yeah, that was cool.
I'm actually considering getting that because it's only like $200, which is not much for like that Juggernaut mini fridge and all that.
Does it come with fish that can sway out of the way when you open the fridge?
Or it comes with armor.
Nah, that's advanced shit, man. Relax.
The problem with that.
Does it come with
Don't
a
get ahead of
dog?
yourself, Hollywood.
The problem
Is
with
it
that
Come
Black
with a
Ops
ghost
3
dog.
What
Is
were
it
you saying?
tuned for lean?
What were you
Look
saying,
at the
Daybreaker?
fish.
The problem with that edition, the Black Ops 3 that came with the mini fridge, I know it was in really limited quantity because at the time when that game came out, I was working at GameStop and we only got issued 3 pre-order slots for that edition. And the thing about it is people will buy that edition, and yeah, you may be able to get that fridge, but they'll turn around and sell it for quadruple what they paid for it on eBay, just because somebody will buy it at that price.
I can believe that.
Yeah, I can really believe that because there was also a lot of instances when the PS4 came out. A lot of people decided to resell and be cheap scumbags, so they decided to put the PS4 on eBay for $1,000 because it's in hot demand when it gets sold out for that initial sale price. So of course there are gonna be people buying PS4s and shit for $1,000.
You remember they did that shit with PT too, whenever PT wasn't.
Yeah, whenever they
PS4
took it off, and it's oh, it has PT on it still, guys. Better
It's
buy
You know,
it.
they did that shit for they did that shit for Flappy Bird, and that shit got taken out of the
Flappy Bird?
iOS store. Yeah,
Flappy-
it did. They started selling fucking iPhones for $1,000.
That's retarded.
Dude, Jesus Christ.
Ridiculous.
Humans are retarded.
Flappy
Flappy
Bird,
Bird
not
is
for
dark
retards.
of the iPhone.
The thing that kind of interests me about the whole PT thing is that you would actually have to sell that console with your account attached to it, because the downloads that you get from the PlayStation Store are locked onto whoever's account downloaded it. So
Yep.
the only way they'd be able to play it is if that account was still present on the system.
Yeah.
Yeah, people don't think about
That's sadly the truth.
So that means if you decide to deactivate your console or some shit like that and then just hand it in like a scumbag, they can't access the game. You literally ripped them off for $1,000. So it's,
Hey, they're lost, man. The one that bought it.
it's crazy in these gaming streets, especially when you're the Monopoly man.
You want to talk about some scalpers though? Talk about amiibos. That's some
Yeah,
amiibos.
there's one amiibo that cost $50, and then later on GameStop was like, "Oh, we have copies of it now. Don't need the scalpers." And it's nowadays you can't even buy 2 of the same amiibo because of damn scalpers.
What do you think the Twilight Princess amiibo edition sold out so fast?
Yeah, I actually got that.
Still don't
today.
like the premise of amiibos
Alright, so I think
at all.
when it comes to document, it's my turn to go. Let me see if I
Go
can find
right ahead.
some.
Oh, I wanted to go.
You can go after me, Brandon. I want to find some good shit.
Alright.
Alright.
All right.
What question was that?
I
That was
don't. What's your number? Was that?
Number what?
That was number 5.
That
someone
was
already
Dying
marked
Light.
off.
Yeah, the Dying Light question.
Oh, okay, we're good.
Alright, I guess I can do number 12. Quantum Break has finally been announced that it will be releasing simultaneously on the Xbox One and the PC for its release date. Considering the following backlash from Xbox fans, Phil Spencer personally took to Twitter to clarify that this collaboration with Windows 10's launch was to push a perfect place for all gamers to play without walls or barriers. Apparently after this, the Xbox fanatics screamed betrayal that this was not warranted and that the fans who wanted to pay for the Xbox Live service felt insulted that the game was getting ported to PC and PC platforms because PC reaps the benefits and so-called gets the benefits free. What do you guys think of Phil Spencer's quotes to the Xbox fanatics? Have you seen them, and do you think any of the backlash was warranted?
Oh, and also in recent news, he called them non-gamers as well.
Oh yeah, he said that they were not gamers because of the fact that he actually went on record and clarified that he was looking forward to Uncharted 4.
Yeah, and then someone called him out and he's like, "Oh," he basically said that if I forgot what the tweet was.
How dare you like this game?
Let me see if I can find his tweet real quick.
Yeah, but basically when he said that, he said beforehand that I know people are gonna block me for this. I don't fucking think that someone should block someone because of their preference in a video game. It's the most ridiculous shit. Even if you're in a higher position of power, it's just so stupid. the fanaticism and the fanboy wars and the console wars, like, that shit long died since, like, the Sega Genesis era. That was when it was the most entertaining. You know, you had Sega and Nintendo taking shots at each other. That was pretty cool to see. But if someone's now worshiping a piece of plastic and they don't like the fact that the head guy in charge likes something else, they need to reevaluate their lives.
Okay, this is what sparked that. Apparently, someone asked Phil what game he was excited for this year. He said Gears. I thought the Division beta was very good. People will block me, but Uncharted 4 will be a great game, I'm sure. Love the QB story. Then someone was like, Xbox head, talked about how great Uncharted 4 will be. Just wave the white flag already. This is embarrassing to say. Or embarrassing sad to say. And then he basically responded by saying, we should all applaud when a team does something special. Those who hope for a team to fail due to platform aren't real gamers.
Yeah, and that's the problem nowadays with people.
I commend him for that. I will play my Xbox One even more.
Like, I think too many fans. Yeah, I think too many fans strive to look at the negatives instead of the positive.
I think that's the thing, though, is that, you know, what Phil Spencer said, like, you know, what does the platform matter? I mean, I care more about the game than what platform it's on, you know. Exactly. It's I buy games that are going to be good. I buy a platform because of their certain games on there, but it's mostly because of the game, not the platform. I don't care about the platform, you know, as much as I do about the games.
I want to say that, like, more and more we're just seeing, you know, Xbox fanboys just being utterly childish and just not being open to, diversity. Because if they were actual gamers, or not even if they were actual gamers, but if they actually liked playing games just because they're fun or because they like the stories and things of that nature, they wouldn't care about the platform. They wouldn't care about what somebody's personal preference is. They wouldn't care about any of that.
Right, exactly.
At the end of the day, people are stupid people, unfortunately, and they try to blow things up out of proportion, and this is a case of that.
Part of the reason, I think, is if you... Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
If you look at how much it costs to get something like a PlayStation 4 or an Xbox One, I think there's kind of an automatic certain amount of expected entitlement or reciprocation in terms of exclusive games or things of that nature to make it feel like that your purchase was special and worth it rather than just something generic that anyone could do. So on one hand, I can understand why they wouldn't exactly be happy about the circumstances, but at the same time, you kind of have to look past that and realize, well, hold on, am I enjoying this game, or did I really get this just because of the console?
Right. My take on it is, I mean, I also understand why Xbox fanboys are upset. I mean, I'm kind of upset too, because I bought an Xbox One, which costs like $400 or more than that when I fucking got it. And I was expecting, like exclusive games in there, but like, let's be honest, there ain't jack shit on that box. There ain't nothing on that box. And now that they're apparently now sending the games to exclusive wise to Xbox and also PC.
Yeah, like Killer Instinct.
Yeah, stuff like that. I mean,
I think it's what Phil Spencer knows.
Yeah, I mean, that just shows that you kind of don't really have that much faith in your box, that you feel like it's not good enough to be just there, which is fine. I mean, it's cool. Yeah, I get to play Quantum Break on my PC where it's going to run way better. But, I mean...
Need an internet connection.
There's also really high system requirements, too.
Yeah, but the question now is, what's the point of having an Xbox when it's going to come out on the PC anyways?
There isn't.
Like, exactly. So that's why I can understand they're upset about it. And I don't know. I don't know what to say about it. It's a shame.
Go to Xbox. That's all I gotta say.
My take on that would be there is, you know, consoles have always been there more for the consumer market. They're not really there for people, you know, because like PC, building a decent rig, it's a lot easier than it was back in the day. That's for sure. I mean, you can go to sites like CyberPower PC and get a custom rig. all on its own, and it's got all the stuff there for you. But then there's also the thought of having to upgrade parts for newer games as the games get more graphics heavy and things like that. And some consumers they're not tech savvy enough for that. So consoles have their place for that because it's all there. You don't have to upgrade the system at any time except for maybe hard drives because games are getting ridiculously storage heavy. But
Right.
so I mean, I understand from the perspective like being upset, but at the same time he did bring a good point. I mean, the guy's human too, so he can also like other things. He's not just because he's the head of another company doesn't mean he can't like what the other opposition is doing.
Right. Like, did you guys see the spec requirements for the Quantum Break for the PC? That shit's ridiculous.
You need Windows 10 on top of that.
Isn't it a GTX 970 or 80?
To run it on Ultra, it needs to be 980 Ti. Which is like the next one after Titan X.
Yeah.
Well, okay, to be fair, the system requirements, I've seen system requirements for games before, and they're not always representative of like what you actually need to be able to run the game. Sometimes you can, I've seen games that have recommended system requirements like pretty high, and you can run the game without older hardware.
Yeah,
just
that's just what I was going to ask. Like, I know they supposedly have minimum specs, and I was wondering, like, could it take a 970? Because if it does, then I could definitely run it no problem at minimum.
970 is basically like high, and then 980 Ti is ultra.
Is still like I've got a 970. So.
Yeah, no way I'm running that shit at ultra. Nope. Fuck that.
The computer will
why
fry.
would you exactly? It's not even relevant much unless you're
what
like
also kind of
really...
baffles me is like, why is it going to be Windows 10 exclusive?
They're trying to sell the Windows
Microsoft
10 and no one likes it.
I just had a thought. What is it? Scalebound got delayed. What if it got delayed because they're trying to put it also on PC?
Supposedly, I heard it's
I
coming
actually
to
got
PC.
news about that also. That's why I want to read off that question.
Good.
Because supposedly
I'll
it's
let you finish
coming.
with this topic.
Supposedly the Scalebound was coming to PC, but then again, you got stuff like Rise of Tomb Raider, like you said, Killer Instinct, and now they're trying to bundle games with the whole Windows 10 system. I think that they definitely have a plan in motion for this, but if you're definitely looking to get the Xbox for exclusives, that might be the wrong option to do, considering the fact that you could just get a rig and run all your shit on there. So I think that in terms of exclusives, if you're getting an Xbox, well, there's sometimes where computer ports can be borked. I mean, that is a fact. Sometimes it can happen, but at the same time, it's like, I think it's best if you have a PS4 in this generation and a PC, because you'll have the superior system that a lot of people are playing on. A lot of people converted after Microsoft fucked up at E3 2013 with the whole DRM business. And then you'll have a lot of your friends on there, and then you'll have the PC base, which is, is growing rapidly at the minute. So I think it's best to have both of those systems at this rate. I don't see really the reason for me in particular to get an Xbox One.
Hybrid race?
Yeah, hybrid console PC master race. Yeah, I would say, unless we're even saying like games that were originally Xbox exclusive, or if they were just PC and Xbox exclusive, they end up getting ported over to the PS4. Tomb Raider is a good example of that because it's supposed to be coming on to PS4, I think, next year or later this year.
No, sometime this year.
Sometime this year? Yeah, so, I mean, it's like...
PS4 is going to be late this year.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, well, I kind of defeated the I can understand, like, oh, well, if you wanted to play it earlier, you should have just got it on the Xbox One or the PC, but it's like, not really. And then now we're hearing, like, Scalebound might be PC now, so it's like, and if that ends up getting ported over to the PS4, it's just like, is there really any reason to get the Xbox One other than the fact that it has backwards compatibility? I mean, that's the only reason why I think that the Xbox One is worth getting at this point, is just the fact that you can play 360 games on there.
It's the all-in-one backwards compatibility box.
Yeah, why can't... That's the only thing that the PS4 can't really do right now.
Like, that's the thing. I can't think of a lot of reasons why you'd want to get one. I mean, I just think I would wait if you're even thinking about getting one, just until they even get something that
They
you
need an
should get it
exclusive that's
for.
worth
Because,
it.
It's a nice
Yeah.
paperweight.
Yeah.
Nice
Good door
dust
stopper.
collector.
It's sad because the 360 had a lot of reasons to get it back then. They had a lot of good
Yeah, I
exclusives.
mean, I can understand the 360. Like, okay, because when the 360 and the PS3 launched, PS3 was $600. The 360 was more affordable. The 360 had a lot more games for it, at least at the start. But then when the PS3 actually became affordable, and it started getting a
destroyed.
lot of exclusives. It started getting a lot of good games.
Yeah, they were kind of neck and neck.
Yeah, but
like
they
the
had to play
360
catch up.
had a head start pretty much, so that was
Yeah.
why it had such a following. Now it's kind of different. Sony actually has pretty much the head start. I mean, maybe Microsoft is just taking a while to catch up. It's still early in the life cycle, so we don't know. But hopefully, I'm not even like. Here's the thing, like I actually I want to see Microsoft put out some interesting stuff, but I have not seen anything from them. So I'm just hoping they do, because I would like to see something. I'd like to have a reason to maybe somewhere down the line actually get a 1, but right now I don't because there's nothing there.
Yeah, and there's not many logical reasons. If you already own a PS4, if you already own a PC, there's really not much logical reasons to get the 1 at this point, unless they had something like, oh my god, something really big is going to be exclusive for like, a few years down the line. Like, imagine them getting GTA exclusive, for example, or some shit like that. Which I remember they had their DLCs exclusives and pretty much everyone was excited about that when they revealed that for the Xbox 360. So I think they need to do more stuff like that. Try to get what they can and make it outweigh what's going on right now in the console market. Because obviously, the PS4
funny that you
is
say that
dominating.
actually.
Yeah.
Because Phil Spencer's actually trying to do the exact opposite. I think he came out and actually said that.
With the exclusives.
Yeah, like the whole I'm getting DLC and whatnot. He's trying not to do that anymore in Xbox history.
Well, that is.
I remember him saying that.
That is good, but the point I was making was the fact that they need more than what they're giving right now, because relatively they're giving the Xbox One out and it has, lower resolution, stuff like that, so it's not going to appeal to people who already have a PC, and obviously the user base is bigger on the PS4 due to the fact that they fucked up and they're trying to climb back up the ladder. So
on the resolution point, and I apologize to cut you off, I think that the current consoles that are out now all have an issue with resolution because, we already have 4K and yet they can't support that. I mean, how is it that we have 2 consoles that, don't even go up to 1080p and we have one that
PS4 does.
And it's like,
PS4
the PS4 does, but not the Wii U and the Xbox One.
But Xbox One does as well, though, but it's not as common.
It does,
I blame
but it
Nintendo.
kind of struggles.
So I think that what should have been done is, there should have been a focus on resolution, somewhat. I mean, even if they didn't put like 4K in there, they should have put in at least 2K to kind of get that started in there, to kind of prep people up for it.
I know people say resolution's on everything. That's a big yes and a no. You shouldn't be focusing on graphics, but at the same time, do not make an ugly game.
I think performance does kind of, I think that for the people that try to go for 1080p and 60 FPS, and then obviously that's not quality of the true final product that's released at the end of the day, they have to obviously downgrade it. Obviously, no one's going to be happy about that news because they feel like the game's being gimped. So I think that's some of the problems that developers are having is that, while they have 1080, 60 FPS, they're not even capable of doing that.
Well,
yeah,
I was going
they
to
definitely
say
have to. Sorry, you go ahead.
Okay, because I was just gonna say that as far as the whole like 1080p or going above that is that resolution and graphics don't really matter, but when you talk about improving from the last gen, that kind of is a big deal because it's like, okay, we kind of already had 1080p with some of the games on previous gen.
And now it's like they can barely keep up with frame rate and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
I think the biggest problem the Xbox One also has is that Japan does not give a crap about them.
Dude, I remember
there's so many games that Xbox isn't getting just because Japan just doesn't care.
Dude, I remember like at the Xbox One launch at Japan, they had a little.
No one showed up.
They had a little, I guess, a little news coverage style story on it where they showed like everyone else going to a restaurant instead of buying an Xbox One.
Damn.
I think that the main thing with that though is that the Xbox just doesn't have a lot of like games that would, you know, cater to most Japanese people. Like, you know, PlayStation does. It has like a lot of JRPGs. It has a lot of you know, just Japanese centric type of games. Like the Xbox just doesn't have much of that. It's got like shit like Gears of War, Halo, stuff like that. You know, it's I think that's at least part of the reason for it. But yeah,
Because they have shooters.
well, yeah.
Japan don't really care for shooters all that much, to be honest.
Yeah, Japan is like RPG central, you know.
Yeah.
You might get the occasional, you know, hack and slash in there as well, from what I've seen people like, but yeah, shooters are like, I really don't hear about a lot of Japanese players going for competitive shooters, either RPGs, fighting games, or it's hack and slash.
This might be digressing slightly, but you remember TGS that they showed Black Ops 3?
Oh my god, yeah.
That I was like, no, but I can tell that nobody here in this crowd gives a remote fuck. No one clapped. No one clapped. Nothing. They were just standing there watching.
I'm kind of glad though that like Japan has such an influence on the games market and everything, because if we didn't have them, you just think we'd have to be saturated with so much more of that kind of crap with modern military.
The market is mostly controlled by the Japanese. Or if you lose them, you lose like part of half the market.
They are the master race of video games.
You know, that's funny, and I know this is kind of off topic, but like, I have a feeling that that's why Capcom put on the Biohazard logo on Umbrella Corps. I'm not going to call it Core, it's Dead on Arrival. I have a feeling that the only reason why they put Biohazard on there, on the Japanese version, is because they know that it's not going to sell either in Japan or in the West.
Yeah, they took Resident Evil out. I don't know if they were like trying to save face or not, because a lot of people were comparing that game to, you know, and I saw the comments as well. They were saying, oh, this is another main entry in the RA series. They're trying to spin it where, oh, just a side project, is, you know, meaningless. But that's my rebuttal to that is, if the game still is not good, then it's going to be a footnote. It's going to be in history that here's another shooter that Capcom put out and it wasn't that great. But, you know, the stuff that is with the East and the West, I think that there's obviously certain games that can appeal to us from the Japanese market a little more. I know that they put a lot of good quality in their games, despite the contrary of a lot of people saying that the West games are better because they're all shooters and, you know, it's the same old stuff. That's sort of what formulates into the mentality of what's going on with the West, is that they put out good content from time to time, but mostly it's just either shooters or the same old stuff yearly, every year.
Yeah, that's the problem with so many games today, is it's so oversaturated with this modern military FPS crap. I don't know. Like, I think that might have just, maybe that's why it's bled over into the Resident Evil. I'm not sure, but I mean, I don't know.
You know, shooters today were like action titles back in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah,
I
definitely agree with that. And maybe if I can throw some 2 cents in there, the 80s and 90s, you know, they had a lot of platforming games. I'm not saying that, you know, it was super oversaturated, but they were definitely there. So, yeah, it's definitely a new age where this stuff is now, you know, superior as opposed to a lot of games with a lot of variety. So, I just wish that when a developer puts something out there, they try not to follow the footsteps of other developers just to get a quick buck, because that is exactly what Capcom is doing with Umbrella Corps and what they did with Resident Evil 6, trying to cater to a certain Call of Duty demographic.
Well, the only problem is that if you don't at least try, though, if you don't sell over 1 million or at least more, it will consider it be a failure. Sure, 1 million is a big number, but back in the day, that's a big success. Nowadays, it's not.
Now it's
considering
just
that
above
game could
average.
sell.
Yeah, nowadays,
that
like,
games sell 5 million and whatnot. So.
Yeah, nowadays it's like they have to be in the mentality of trying to gouge everyone for a quick buck. because they obviously know that games are bigger these days. They require more development. They're gonna have to also get back on their bottom line. So that's why these tactics unfortunately exist, where they try to gouge the consumer, and it's just really bullshit how it is. But I just, it's really terrible how it's going right now. But I just hope that more developers do see variety. I think you see more variety in like indie games and stuff like that, as opposed to like AAA mainstream stuff.
Yeah, well, that's mostly because the people, at least behind indie games, have that's what I think is mostly missing from today's modern games, is just a certain amount of passion that went into it, that used to go into it at least.
Yeah.
And I think we see more of that.
Indie developers are now, you could consider them former fans of companies or former workers.
Or they put out successors that people want to see, like stuff like Bloodstain. You're not gonna see
Mighty Number 9.
No, Ukulele is a better example.
In the document.
I was gonna say something like Ukulele. People that want Banjo-Kazooie 3. Well, you get a spiritual successor.
Yeah.
Also, this is on that too. There's a new character.
So you go to Hawaii.
Well, then again, I fucking hate it.
So when it comes to my personal taste, I always look for stuff like indies, or at least if there is a big game, stuff that's trying to do things that's new while retaining some elements to be satisfiable as a game, especially like some of the stuff that Kojima's trying to pull with Kojima Productions and his new edgy product coming from Sony.
Mm-hmm. Well, that is another question in there regarding Guillermo del Toro and Kojima.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Well, if Brandon wants to highlight on that because it's his turn.
Oh, I wasn't going to highlight on that, but if you guys want me to, I could.
No, you can pick whatever you want, man.
What? No, this will be a quick one, hopefully.
Yeah, go ahead.
In the wake of delays, Scalebound and Record has gotten delayed until next year. Good. How do you feel about those games and delayed games constantly getting released? Wait, what? I read that right?
Hold on.
Probably not, but whatever.
Yeah, you probably
What question
read
is
that
it?
right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's number 9.
Number 9.
I guess that means delayed games constantly.
Yeah, that's how it was written.
The delayed games constantly getting a release date only to get delayed.
Yeah, it really annoys me whenever they just delay a game some more, especially with like stuff like Mankind Divided, Final Fantasy 15. I understand why.
Uncharted 4.
Also, one thing real quick, Scalebound has been, I guess, leaked on NeoGAF that it could get PC release, but it's take that with a grain of salt.
That's what I was talking about earlier. They're supposedly going to port that to
in
PC.
before PS4 release.
Damn. Well, Microsoft took an L on that one.
That just added insult to injury.
Yeah, and then at that point, it would just be like, yep, just no point to own an Xbox One at this point.
There isn't anyway.
I mean, but that would just be even another reason why you shouldn't own
That'd
one.
be a nail in the coffin.
It would, yeah. Because considering how the whole point of the game was to be exclusive to Xbox, then jumping to the competitor, it's like, well, you know what? That doesn't make any sense.
Oh, then again, though, if that happened, though, then Microsoft must be really reaching for money because they're paying for the game.
Yeah. So anyone else have any opinions on Recore and Scalebound? As for Recore, I haven't seen much of it, so there's nothing really that I can say about it, to be honest.
I don't know. It's made by Kate, so I'm not supporting it.
Scalebound, like, isn't that's Kamiya's project, right?
Yeah.
I don't really know. I know there's going to be dragons in it. That's about all I know about the game.
It's like Monster Hunter in a way, but not as stable with frame rate.
Yeah, we get Emo Nero. They finally did the trifecta. God, the main protagonist looks. He even has. I swear he ripped off the Devil Bringer for DMC4. His arm looks just like it.
Man, you know Kamiya and stuff, man.
He looks like a weird combination between Nero and Emo Dante. I don't know why.
Dante.
That's how he looks, though.
It's probably the same universe.
I definitely agree to that.
No, shut up, Reapers.
Right. You'd be like, oh yeah, Secret League in the same universe.
Yeah, his signature
Someone
taunt.
dropkick this man.
His signature taunt is gonna be "fuck you." That's gonna be his. He has to have like the little mariachi mustache and give the middle finger.
Me almost don't.
That's the only one in that garbage.
Le ballet, de Dante e Virgin.
I don't even know what the fuck he just said.
Munda.
It's look it up on YouTube. It's basically someone took a the DMC reboot and modded it to look like a.
I know what you're talking about.
That is why I like. That's the only reason why I like DMC the reboot, because someone made that.
You mean made it actually?
They made it funny there.
Yeah, actually.
And they took that scene where he's fighting the succubus, and they made it more hilarious.
Isn't that the mod where you can have Dante wearing a sombrero?
I don't
know. He has a really fat like Mario mustache.
No, and then they make Virgil have like the Hulk Hogan mustache.
They do. Oh my god.
I'm like, yes.
Oh look,
he even looks like Hulk Hogan too.
Shit.
He's watching it right now. I know he is.
It's like, I'm coming for you, brother. I'm coming for you. What are you gonna do when I put a drop kick on you?
I need a Taco Bell burrito.
What are you gonna do when I use Yamato?
Taco burrito.
What are you gonna do when the devil trigger runs wild on you?
God damn it. How does that work so well?
I have no idea.
Livy's created a monster, confirmed.
You're welcome.
Does anyone want to take on the next topic?
Chaos, you take on the topic.
Okay. Let's see.
I'll take on 12 because 12 is already done.
Okay, I guess I'll go with number 2. Hideo Kojima and Guillermo del Toro attended a keynote at the DICE Summit of 2016. This was a long keynote, but to summarize the most important aspects... Oh god, we have bullet points. Kojima, first bullet point. Kojima only continued upon video games only because his loyal fan base who urged him to go back creating video games because of high expectations. Second bullet point, Del Toro claimed that he's not done with video games, which was opposite of a statement Del Toro made a while back, only because Hideo Kojima said he would do whatever the fuck Kojima wants. I guess that, I don't know if that was a spelling error there. Third bullet point, last but not least, Kojima mentioned he feels free in his own studio, but knows he has to make his new independent game with Sony to satisfy the fans in order to bring in innovative new ways to play and for the game to sell well, so Kojima knows he has to be careful. After this keynote, how do you feel about the pressures of Kojima's new independent game still, and are you excited that he and Del Toro will want to work on a project together?
I only got something simple to say on this. Fuck yes.
Yeah.
I feel like...
I heard it was a horror game too.
I don't like that they're using these vague terms. Like, I just feel like they should just come out and say, okay, we're going to be working on Silent Hills, because I feel like that's really what they're alluding to here.
No chaos, but the suspense,
they're not going to call it Silent Hills. They're going to call it something else.
Quiet Mountain.
PT.
Quiet Mountain.
Yes.
Yeah.
The thing
And
is that, one of the problems that Kojima and Del Toro face is that, or actually not problems, but one of the things that they have to deal with is that they might not be contractually obligated to say anything about PT and Silent Hills, so they could be working on a horror game. So
Could I piggyback off of that? I know that something like that is definitely in play because I remember
there was a rumor about it.
What about the Kojima could not talk about Konami at all? He was contractually obligated to not say anything about them.
More, though.
They said for when he left, when they finally let him go, that he was not allowed to say squat ever.
Yeah,
that really sucks.
On the other hand, based on the new logo that Kojima Productions has, it kind of seemed like they were going to be doing a Zone of the Enders successor.
Yeah.
So, or even like Police Knots and Snatcher, but
Yeah,
really
like anything, like I'm especially want to see another. Would love to see another Zone of the Enders.
Agreed.
And I feel like I've said this before. Now that Kojima is free of Konami, he can pretty much do most of what he wanted to do while he was under Konami,
and he has the freedom to do what he wants. I think now, as he's partnered up with Sony, he has way more creative freedom. So
Yeah.
I would
Unleash
love
the
to
beast.
see if because I remember when he released the HD collection for Zone of the Enders, he kept saying, "Oh, we're going to be doing a third one," but it never came to fruition. So there's just a bunch of concept art out there for it, but they wanted to do it, but they never were able to. So
Yeah.
I'm hoping that now maybe that might be a thing, but I don't know. I guess we'll just have to wait and see because we're just playing the waiting game right now. We haven't really heard anything except that Kojima and Del Toro might be working on a horror game, and I'm at least 90% sure that must be related to Silent Hills. And like his logo, like Tom said, that maybe he might be at least considering doing another Zone of the Enders, and I would be very excited if they did another one because I'm a huge fan of the first, especially the second game. So
Yeah, I remember how much you were obsessed with it.
They
I'm
actually
pretty
had a
excited.
third game in the works before it got scrapped. I think.
Yeah,
it
that's what he was
because-
talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he's talking about.
He was talking about how there was like a lot of concept art for it.
Yeah,
but-
there's
Yeah.
concept art for it. It was
was
going to be a
considered the
more
end of this
Egyptian
project.
themed sort of type of game. The first two had that kind of aesthetic, but apparently it's going to be like a prequel sort of thing. But I don't know.
Oh,
That's
never
just the
mind.
information
You
we
answered
had.
my question.
Yeah, I remember that there's like someone did like an interview like asking how Kojima felt whenever he was working with Sony. He said that he felt more free because Sony could let him do whatever he wants, and he didn't feel the pressure that he was under when Konami had holds of him.
Yeah, he was just hanging out with all the developers and took a
Yeah,
tour
he
of all
was-
the other
he was having a
studios.
good
Yeah,
time.
buying
It's like-
McDonald's and whatnot.
Yeah, it's like he was having a good time with them. It's like that's what you're supposed to have with your developers.
Dude.
That's what you're supposed to have.
Yeah, dude, I swear, like, if you literally pay attention to his Twitter, when he was with Konami, he didn't do fuck all. He didn't
tweet
He
shit.
didn't tweet
No.
shit. He was like, he was a mute. He was silent. Now that
Yeah,
he
he's
got
happy with Sony.
now that he
Yeah,
got out, he's like partying it up. He's hugging Kamiya and shit like he's his fucking brother.
He's
He's
buying
all over the
McDonald's.
place.
He's
Yeah.
at the Guerrilla
He's a
Games
party
place
animal.
taking pictures in front of the Helgas.
If I'm not mistaken, he is going around some of these studios to try to get new team members onto the new Kojima productions, which
He's-
would make sense,
Scouting.
considering that like some of the people that he used to work with back at Konami have left to different studios. Some of them even work at Sony, so it would make sense. And I think one of the members that he went to go contact that was part of a Sony studio did actually go back to work with him again. So
So what you're saying is, Dom, I want you for the Kojima World Order.
essentially,
That's actually
That's
kind of
essentially
funny
what he's
that you
doing.
put it that way.
It's
But
what
yeah-
it sounds like. He's
Yeah,
recruiting
how
you.
I feel about the pressures of Konami. Then again, I don't think he's gonna have that much pressure due to the fact that there's like a wide majority of people that will buy Kojima's new project because they're
I
a
think
big fan
Sony
of Kojima.
lucked out, and they're not gonna push him.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think Sony they got their hands on a true visionary that actually knows what the fuck people would want.
Yeah, he said in a interview that they're actually, taking good care of him, that, everything is fine, they're treating him right. So that is good to see that he actually got a shithole. And another thing is, I'm interested to see that this is actually going to turn into a big franchise. And Kojima said that he wants this to continue after he departs from the project. So I'm curious to see how that goes, especially with the whole indicator of this being an edgy game. And this supposedly being a continuing franchise for Sony. I wonder how they're going to make good use of it after Kojima is well away.
I feel like
Do you mind if
Kojima's.
I,
Oh,
add
go
on
ahead.
to that, Ryan?
Go ahead.
I'll let Reapers go first.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say I feel like I'm pretty sure they're gonna make PT or whatever he's gonna call it as a side project, because there's rumors that Kojima had lunch with Norman Reedus and Guillermo del Toro at one point, and they started talking about getting him into the side project. So that kind of confirms that.
I
But
can
I'm-
just sorry.
I'm still interested to see what the actual main game that he's going to be working on and be focused on the most be. That's it.
I could just imagine how that lunch is going down. Kojima is like, so when they decide to kill off you in The Walking Dead, you want to work on a new game?
Spoilers, god damn it.
What the fuck are you
What
spoiled it?
Actually, that's not even a spoiler.
It's
That
actually
never
not.
happened.
Dude, people were about to have
almost.
your head on a stick.
But just to
Hey,
kind
I'm gonna say this right now. Daryl is still alive.
Boo. Boo this man.
Boo
Fuck
this
you.
man.
nobody even watch that show anymore.
Hey, I never said that he did. I was saying that as a joke because in the comic, Daryl was never a thing. He was just a new character for the show.
Negan.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Daryl.
yes.
Was,
That's true.
according to what I've seen, that from Your Movie Sucks, Daryl is actually a character made just for the TV show. He was never in the comics whatsoever.
Good, because if he dies, people will riot. Views will drop.
The TV fans would riot, but not the comic book fans.
Yeah, those fangirls
Anyways.
are gonna break people's dicks off.
Anyway,
So
I
Robert
was
Daryl's
just
like,
going to,
Yeah, he shares
Go
too
ahead.
many similarities with the White from the comics. So yeah, that's probably why.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna add on to what Ren was saying. Like, it seems like with all the kind of like indications and the way that Sony's been kind of like treating Kojima, it just seems like, if anything, like when he departures, it doesn't mean that he's going to be quote unquote leaving Kojima Productions. It's merely just him being able to step away from the project and work on other projects. Whereas like over at Konami, he was basically forced to work on Metal Gear. You know, he wasn't able to work on anything like Silent Hill or like Zone of the Enders or anything really big like that. They just wanted Metal Gear, Metal Gear, Metal Gear, and now that he's on his own and he's working with Sony, he's kind of able to do whatever he wants, and he can do anything he wants after he's kind of disassociated himself with a particular franchise.
I feel like this is appropriate since we're talking about Kojima and you said Metal Gear. Today, about 12 years ago, Metal Gear Solid 3 was released on the PS2.
Woo!
Great game.
Yeah, everyone, that is the greatest game in the series. Go support it. Go play the HD collection. Do it now.
Yeah, play it now. That game is freaking amazing. I think that is one of the reasons why it is quintessential that the PS2 hands down took the console war when it was back in the day.
The highest selling console ever. So
Yeah.
Can I add something here since we're talking about Kojima and kind of, I guess, Metal Gear in a bit?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Did you guys hear about that HD Metal Gear game that some fans were making?
Oh yeah, it was Shadow Moses that got canceled.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That got canceled.
Konami sucks.
Yeah, because Konami got a hold, caught wind of it. They're like, "Fuck you." We're
You
gonna
know what I
make
have to
this.
say to that?
What?
Anyways, if you're gonna remake a game that you're not part of the company, if you're gonna do that, I suggest you don't tell anybody that it exists until it's already done, so you don't get shut down.
Hold on. I thought that I was under the suspicion that they actually supported that game. Maybe,
I thought so too.
I thought that they did.
Same here.
Like they didn't cease and desist it immediately. It just sort of lingered around a bit. There was a trailer. Young Ye was talking about it. Then all of a sudden they just pulled the plug out of nowhere.
Nope, they're just waiting for everybody to forget about it, and then bloop.
Yeah, that was kind of
Those
like
are assholes.
that was kind of like the Metal Gear remake, the one that was supposed to be a remake of the original MSX version of Metal Gear. And Konami supported it. I think even Konami had Kojima Productions LA working with the fan team at one point.
Really?
But then they canceled it midway through development, so this isn't surprising.
That's why when I saw that tweet, I was like, I tweeted on that tweet, and I was like, and it's canceled.
Yeah, that's rather unfortunate. I guess this proves that Metal Gear is going to live on through the pachinko slots.
Oh yeah, live on. You mean spend its life on? It spend its time on life support.
Yeah, remember when you die, when you play the pachinko machine, it doesn't scream the snake thing. It just screams, "You idiot!"
Oh my god. Alright, I think we need to move on to another question and document. So, let's see, who else did we didn't get to yet?
Does King want to go?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah, King. By all means.
Let me see the document again.
It's in chat.
It's in chat. You'll find it.
All right. Let's see. Okay, here's one. It was confirmed by Ubisoft that there will be no new Assassin's Creed game coming in 2016. What do you guys think of Assassin's Creed finally breaking from the yearly tradition and seeing them take a break to focus on their other projects?
About fucking time.
Thank God.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, I have to agree.
Yeah,
It only
work on
took
better
them like
games.
how many years?
It's about time.
It's been a while.
How long? God.
7 or 8
2011.
years.
I think ever since after Revelations, they
Assassin's
just couldn't
Creed 2 has
stop.
been every year.
Yeah, after that, I think it was like 2010.
I thought it was they got on the yearly train after AC Revelations.
I thought it was
No, it's
AC3.
two.
I thought it was.
Assassin's Creed 2 is every year.
Oh.
Yeah,
Let me
because
see. Let me
their
see
reasoning-
really quick to make sure.
The
With
reasoning
SEO
behind that, their reasoning behind that for 2 was because, well, they wanted to basically have time to develop 3, so to keep the fans waiting, they released, what is it, Brotherhood and Revelations.
Mm-hmm.
And arguably, that makes sense, but then when they came out and they were like, oh, Assassin's Creed 4, we were developing it before during Assassin's Creed 3's development time. So it's been developed for like 3 years and whatnot, and it was like, no, this does not look like a 3-year developed game.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I'm looking at this right now. You want me to read off the main games?
Sure, check them off.
No.
No, I'm trying to forget.
No, Assassin's Creed 1, 2007. The second one, 2009. After 2, 2010, Brotherhood, 11, Revelations. And then 2012 was 3. The year after, Assassin's Creed 4, Black Flag. The year after that, Rogue and Unity. The year after that, Syndicate. And the year after that, the Chronicles games. That's it.
Too many.
Yeah.
Well, last year, another Chronicles game, but still.
I think the perfect
That's
gap
my
was.
main problem with Assassin's Creed. It's just too many games to keep up with. I don't know why they decided to do this yearly release thing. It's just the games are obviously not finished when they come out, and they have a ton of fucking problems. And it's just the gameplay has gotten incredibly dull and repetitive at this point because
Agreed.
of the same thing.
Assassin's Creed 3 had a 100 glitch patch.
Yeah, and I think.
Yeah, 3 being the most broken of all of them, probably.
Yeah.
And
Still,
wasn't-
Unity took the top with that one.
Yeah, I was about to say,
Yeah.
wasn't
Oh, right,
Unity
yeah,
just
Unity.
the breaking point for everyone? And it
Yeah,
made
I
Ubisoft
completely
fix their
forgot
shit?
about fucking
Unity was
Unity.
fucking
Well, everyone
terrible.
forgot about Unity at this
I
point.
wish I forgot about you.
Yeah, I'd have to
Unity
say
is
after
cancer.
Assassin's Creed 3, just modern day story just went downhill for me.
I think people started to like 4 because it improved so much that the third one failed to like
And
deliver.
not to mention, 4 was just less of the modern day stuff and more stuff like about like ship battles. Just more of that fun. Like, I mean, the other games didn't really. It kind of tried to have some variety, I guess, is why people liked it more.
I
'Cause you
will
are a
admit
pirate.
something for Assassin's Creed 3. The modern day, especially the last one, was pretty fun. Desmond was just taking everybody
Definitely.
out in a circle.
I personally didn't really care for the third one. Everyone, I know one of my friends loved it, but I told him I didn't like it. He thought I was a blasphemer.
The problem
Crucify
with
this
the
man.
modern day story is that, like there were so many plot holes within that story. Like Assassin's Creed 3 has the biggest plot hole where Desmond brings up the fact that why doesn't Desmond's dad go into the Animus? And that kind of plays into this later part where like Desmond's dad could have sacrificed himself so that Desmond could live at the end.
I hated Desmond.
Screw me.
I'm glad he's dead.
I
Rock
wasn't.
kicked this man again.
Yeah, I would say I wasn't that fascinated by him, and at least as far as the first game goes, it's more of a mystery than anything. So you spend less time with him, and obviously more time with Altair.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the thing, though. They
Yeah.
never branch out more with his character. They just straight up kill them all.
Although I
and
can
he
see
was
why the
freaking
people-
badass in the third game.
Yeah, I can see why people like the second game more though, because Ezio has more of a personality. He's a more interesting character than fucking Altair. Altair is just, he's pretty much.
It's generic and bland.
I know people really wanted Altair's story to be finished, and they kind of finished it in Revelations.
You want to talk about
No, they did
bland
finish it.
piece of bread?
No,
talk
they-
about Connor.
Oh God!
Connor.
Wait,
no,
what?
no one cares about Connor.
Exactly.
Who is that guy?
No, I don't
Connor
know.
is a Native American.
A faggot.
It's some Native American.
AC3 guy.
Hey Dom,
Hey,
that's the joke.
Don't miss my people, man. I feel offended. Yeah.
Well, then again,
yeah,
they
that's-
did.
I know that's a joke.
They
That's what I'm saying.
did continue Altair's story, but it was only on handhelds.
Oh God.
Bloodlines and
Oh,
Altair's
handheld.
Chronicles. Yeah, that's
Handhelds
the
is
only
pop
time
out.
they ever got that. So a PSP game and a DS game. That's it.
To me, the handheld ACs just feel like cop-out games. Like the China one, that was a bunch of bullshit.
What about Freedom Cry?
I tried
that
Freedom
was
Cry.
alright.
It's not fun.
Oh.
That's
What was
alright.
another one?
That's
Oh,
alright.
what was another one? Liberation. That was like the
Liberation.
third one.
I heard that one was good actually.
Yeah, I actually bought that. And it's
The
actually
one where
not
you
bad.
were a slave at one point.
Yeah, you're a
Yeah.
slave. I think you're the first one that had a female assassin. I
You're a
think.
disgusting slave.
I think so. I want to say you're right.
Yeah, it took place in the French Revolution, and you were a slave or something.
Anyways, I think we should add on to that question because it said that it may no longer become an annual franchise because the developer is taking time to re-examine the franchise. Yeah, in addition to this reveal, how do you personally feel about? Yeah, I think we already talked. Yeah, how do you feel about it being re-evaluated? And did you think that they learned from Unity's
About
mistake?
time.
Yeah, they had to learn from Unity.
Yeah.
That was the big mistake there for them, the big blow that hit them. And it's like, afterwards, people were really skeptical of buying another AC game after that because a lot of people were like, Syndicate's going to be dog shit. It's going to be something like Unity. And obviously, that really wasn't the case. It turned out to
It still
surprise.
sucked though.
It's
Yeah,
pretty good.
It
When people
surprises
say
me.
like-
It's alright.
Yeah, I remember that a couple of people bought. Like, I even told one of my friends that I worked with. I told him not to buy Syndicate because it might be as bad as Unity. The person didn't listen to me and bought Syndicate anyway, and they said it's not as bad. It's not bad.
It's not bad.
It's not a
It's
bad game by
bad.
any means.
It's not bad. It's one step up from Unity, but
Nah,
it'll never be
more than one step from Unity. That game
it'll
was
never be as good as 2 though, or 4.
It's the stigma. Like, it's like when Ubisoft put out Watch Dogs and people were severely disappointed, and then now all of a sudden they're talking about like sequels and shit to Watch Dogs, and a lot of people are saying, well, you know what, you guys kind of, lied to us and put out this crap product. Some people are just not going to look forward to it at first until they actually get their hands on it, and that is something that existed when Unity came out. It's like a lot of people were done at that point because they're yearly Assassin's Creed games, and it's like when it comes to the next one, is it going to be exactly like the other one, which was complete dog shit? It's like when you make a franchise and you have that black sheep, it's hard to look past that sometimes.
Exactly.
So,
I'm not really even sure they're being entirely truthful when they're like, "Oh, we're not going to make this a yearly thing anymore," because judging by the fact they've lied before, I mean, who the fuck or how do we know that they're telling the truth about that?
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, it's a fucking cash cow at this point. They're going to keep milking it as much as they can.
Wasn't there
kinda
like
add on to
another
that.
series? Wasn't there like another series that they kind of made a lot of a lot of games of, but they didn't release it annually, like the Rainbow, like any Tom Clancy game?
Splinter Cell?
Splinter Cell?
No, I'm saying the Tom Clancy, anything for them, like Rainbow Six, Splinter Cell.
Yeah, I mean, the Tom Clancy games are definitely another, definitely more game. It's something they've done the same thing with. But I mean, those games are more like, I don't know. I wouldn't compare them.
But they
to,
were. But to most people, they weren't really bad. I mean, look at Rainbow Six Siege. Everyone
Yeah,
in this,
I mean,
in this
it's-
call, everyone can agree that that game is fucking great.
They've been kind of up and down in terms of quality. Like they'll have some good games, the Tom Clancy games, and then they'll have some really shitty ones. So
Also
it's
depends
kind
on
of
the brand as well. Like
Yeah.
Ghost Recon, Splinter Cell, Rainbow Six, and whatever.
yeah, like Splinter Cell games are they were good until
were good.
Word,
I
bro.
heard
What do you
that
mean?
a lot of people kind of like Blacklist, but it obviously deviated from the original formula.
My favorite is Chaos Theory.
Now, my
yeah,
favorite is
Chaos
Conviction,
Theory.
though.
Theory.
That
I
game
thought-
was the bomb.
Conviction, Chaos Theory.
I didn't mind Pandora Tomorrow.
Really?
Oh
No.
yeah, well, I love Pandora Tomorrow. Actually, that
Pandora
was
Tomorrow is actually the best. I preferred that one over.
that was one of my
Chaos.
favorites. Like the first game, I've beaten the first game, Pandora Tomorrow. I played a little bit of Chaos Theory, but it's fucking difficult. I'll be honest. Like, but yeah, I mean, Chaos Theory is a good game. So I don't really. I don't know why. I mean, actually, Double Agent, I beat that. That was good. Double Agent was a good game.
You guys want to give some quick thoughts on Siege? Because Gordon Movie got asked about that. He asked if it was really good. Yeah, it's fun, man. It's definitely fun with people.
Oh, especially when you're a team of 5, and it's fun. It's both funny and fun.
My comparison to this game is like Payday, except it requires you to use more teamwork, and you can play with 5 people.
Wouldn't you also compare it to something like Counter-Strike too? Because it's
Counter-Strike is a lot more.
Yes and no.
Yeah, it's a lot more skill-based. Like, you know, you're obviously not going to be going in there getting like 5 or 6 headshots on the whole team of dudes. But if you're really good, then you can definitely, you know, just outweigh the entire team. Sometimes in the most tense moments.
It's really hard, but it's really hilarious.
It is.
Another thing you won't be able to do is panic knife a fucking bomber.
No.
If you're lucky, maybe.
Unless you're like me, and I got lucky from it, and I ended up dying a few moments later.
You have to damage them before you can do that.
I did the same thing too, but I got like shot in the back of the head.
No, here's the thing though. There was one time I just knifed a bomber in the back, and he died.
But I think since we talked about this topic, go ahead, Dom.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that my only issue with the more recent Assassin's Creeds, just to kind of take us back to that, is that, you know, I don't think they would ever do an actual Assassin's Creed game, not a side scroller like the. They would more than likely do a side scroller like the Chronicles games, but as far as like doing like a mainline Assassin's Creed game, they would never do one that's taking place in China or Japan, considering that they would actually have to innovate the combat system, and that's one of the biggest issues that the Assassin's Creed franchise has, a lack of innovation within the combat.
Japan would be dope, but they just don't want to do it. I wish they would do it. Everybody wishes they would do it.
Agreed.
It would kind of be like a pseudo Tenchu game. And if they did that, and if it was in Japan, because basically, then you're just a ninja.
That's pretty much what you're going to be, a ninja.
I'm not complaining though. I like ninjas.
And people are questioning why they haven't done an Assassin's Creed in Japan. It would just make more sense. Oh wait, I forgot. Alex Hutchinson said it's too much of a common setting.
It is streamed that.
See, it's too.
It is as a common setting.
And it's too easy though.
I hope it'll reconnect. Maybe there's some issues going on with YouTube, but it's still recording. There it is. So, we're back live.
I'm sorry, James, but I'm reminded. Great, you know what? One of the
Do we have to repeat ourselves?
Is?
No.
Oh, okay.
You want to know?
Were you recording this or?
I'm recording it now. It's all on local, but the stream died.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. It's still live. We still got it though. So.
Yeah, we got it.
Okay.
I was gonna say this in Fire Emblem Fates. When you talk to one of the party members who is ninja, literally the main character will say, "Ninjas are so cool."
Exactly.
I'm like, Corin, are you fucking serious?
My ninja, what's up?
I mean, they're not wrong.
I mean, I will agree. Corin's not wrong, but god damn it, this is something a 5-year-old would write. Oh my god, ninjas are so cool. I'm a dragon.
Are we good to move on?
Yeah,
please do. I didn't think about that out of my head.
Yeah, we can move on.
Do you mind if I ask the next question?
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Dom.
I'm actually gonna break up the lineup and go to one of the trivia questions, and
that's a good idea.
The PS4 has Final Fantasy VII, the quote-unquote PC version, on the PlayStation Store. Do you think that Sony should bring in more PC versions of games that were on the PlayStation 1?
Yes. 9.
No, not 9.
No, the reason why is because they upsized everything. They basically improved it, kind of. But no, PC and fucking Androids get it.
Ren, don't you want 8 on there? I know you want 8 on there.
I don't mind. Yeah, I don't mind Final Fantasy VIII, but obviously I can understand a lot of people saying that it ain't the greatest game. I played a little bit of the intro, and it's definitely a slow start, as everyone's been telling me.
That junction system is god awful, by the way.
That is why I don't like it. I hate that system.
It's garbage. And collecting fucking magic cards. It's
Yeah, drawing
What's this,
at
Yu-Gi-Oh?
enemies.
It's
It's like,
Yu-Gi-Oh, baby.
Final Fantasy
believe in
Yu-Gi-Oh?
the heart of the cards.
Considering that it's the 20th anniversary for Resident Evil, I would really like it if Capcom would release the PC versions of Resident Evils 1 through 3, because I feel like that would make a lot of sense.
Yeah, but
especially Resident Evil 1, because we only have Director's Cut, the bad version of Director's Cut on PlayStation 3.
Well, I was gonna say if they do that, they should have like a bundle.
Mm-hmm.
And also, if they ever do decide to put Final Fantasy on there, I should say 9, because the creator actually said that it was a return to its original roots, and it's one of his favorites.
Don't care about roots.
I want a remake of 6.
You really? You don't care about roots? Okay, then enjoy your shitty games that get modernized.
Enjoy your
Levy mad about FF7 confirmed.
Oh yeah.
Enjoy Devil May Cry 5 when they modernize it to hell.
Wait, so
okay, I'll enjoy that they made the
To
combat.
the point that it becomes like the reboot.
Oh hell no! Capcom
man,
suck my dick.
You know what century the original games are in, right? It's like the 19. What is it, Dom? It's
modern day.
It's
no,
modern
it's
day.
not. No, it's not.
It's not.
It's
It
kind
is.
of. It's a mix between modern day and the time that telephones were still like the ones you had to turn to each dial. That year.
That's
They're in between.
It's actually still in the modern day, but a lot of what
They
Devil
mix-
May
yeah, but
Cry
they
is-
Still see adventure stuff. That's
yeah,
the
they
thing.
just like to get like that old style in there just to give it a personality.
Yeah, like there's no laptops or cell phones in that universe either.
At least in that we know of.
That's what I was saying. I think there's a lot of gothic sort of architecture with Devil May Cry, so it's kind of hard to tell sometimes.
It's a mix of old and new, and they kind of made their own like years out of it. I guess I don't know what you want to call it. Century.
Let me see what century it takes.
But moving on, I guess. Did
Yeah,
anyone
let me
pick
salt
out?
you.
Did anyone pick out
You
the main
sorted.
questions yet?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, what about you? Did you go with Daybreaker?
No, I haven't gone yet.
Oh, go ahead.
Shoot the question.
Okay, so I'm going to look at question 16, which states, do you think it's justified if a video game fan base expresses outrage over certain changes such as gameplay, localization, etc.? And I absolutely agree.
Yes.
I
There's-
believe
Yeah, I
that-
agree with that as
That
well.
is default. Yes.
What
Yes.
question is this under, Ben?
16.
It's
16.
16.
16?
Yeah, it was submitted by an average bro.
Oh, I know who that is. He responds to me on Twitter.
Oh, I've seen him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I
I
absolutely.
will block him now.
It depends though. Like what exact? Like most of this, whenever I see it, I usually see this when it comes to like Nintendo censoring shit.
Because they suck.
I see this more and more, and all of a sudden, what can we possibly do about it? Sure, we can say something about it.
Okay.
Not buy their
Well,
game.
simple, not buying the game.
Well,
But
listen,
people are stupid and will do it
do
anyway.
you honestly think that they will stop buying their games?
Okay,
No.
I put it like this. If a person is expressing disinterest in like censorship or localization or stuff like that, I think that you should at least take it to task. If you don't support it, then don't buy it. If you go out and buy it and you don't support it anyway, you're supporting the game in a sense. So I think that's just a hypocrisy.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's completely justified depending on what, like, especially with localization sometimes, specifically what Nintendo's been doing lately with stuff like Fatal Frame 5, Fire Emblem, etc. It's just, yeah, I can completely understand why some people would have problems with it, and I think that's completely justified to, not like that kind of thing.
But again, it depends on what exactly the topic at hand it really is. Like, sure, I can understand the censorship and the localization. That I can understand. But gameplay?
Fire Emblem's a good game, man.
All right, let's just say like levy to that argument. Let's just say that the last iteration of a game in the series was really good with how it controlled, and some devs they do respond to certain changes in a video game by trying to cater to a certain demographic of people. So let's just say that they made a complete genre change to the sequel of a game, and then they pushed that, and it really doesn't work out well for the mechanics of how the game works. Like, say if they turn
Mario.
Yeah, say if they turn like a platformer into like a third-person shooter or something, and you get skeptical with how it plays because there's
they did that. There's two games I could think of that comes to mind. One that I really enjoyed, and then one I really enjoyed even more. Paper Mario was one of them I really enjoyed. Then they stopped making it into an RPG, which is stupid.
That's dumb. Sticker Star was fucking dumb.
And then you look at Plants vs. Zombies with Garden Warfare, and it was actually fun.
Well, as I was saying, there's
But
a
yeah,
success.
I see what you mean, though. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a success and failure rate to doing something like this because, you know, you're doing something that caters to a certain demographic of people that either will probably like it or they won't like this at all. They'll be like, you know, nostalgic about how the original game played, and they won't want to play the new one or give it a try unless there's like a demo or something. In instances like that, I can see people complaining as justified because they're changing something that you were used to. I know everyone doesn't like change, but if it's changed for the worse, then I can definitely see the complaints.
There's only one company and one series of games that I know, that I think of, that I know that can change itself and people will still buy it. And that company is Atlas, and that game is Persona, because I have the fucking dancing game to fucking prove it.
I do too. And the fighting games.
And it's not that bad. And the fucking Etrian Odyssey style game.
Yeah, Etrian Mystery Dungeon.
Yeah.
Persona 5 looks different as well.
It does. Yeah, that's really cool.
Persona's kind of a hard series to mess up.
I'm gonna say this right now. I know for a fact it's censored. I know for a fact Nintendo has its ways with it. But fuck it, I'm getting Tokyo Mirage.
I mean, just think about it: a dancing game, a fucking fighting game, a fucking Etrian Odyssey game. I mean, they can fucking make anything with it. People will buy it.
Persona Q. That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, there are franchises out there.
I do love Persona 2. That's my favorite. Go ahead.
It's a good game.
Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah, it's like.
Oh, you first.
But here's a little thing that they should keep in mind. To those that are thinking about getting a game, but you hear so much about it, research it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and then after you research it, put all the notes that you've seen from it together and figure out whether it's worth buying or not.
And yeah, as I was saying, there is certain franchises out there that can get away with something like that. Like, they might, you know, have a franchise out there that's a meta series that might be able to get away with certain games being good if they do it justice. There have been some that are just questionable as fuck. Like, the one that I can think of off the top of my head is Resident Evil trying different things and just falling flat on his face.
Yeah, especially with 4 through 6.
With Umbrella Corps.
That too. Well, that too. No, the reason why I say 4 and through 6 is because
4 started.
It's kind of broke away from survival horror going to action. That's why I said that.
No.
4 was the perfect blend of horror and action.
But I see what you mean though with Umbrella Corps.
No. If I could explain, I was gonna put in Resident Evil Survivor because that game was a first-person shooter. Wasn't really that great. I know that the original style of Resident Evil was going to be in first person before they changed it, but that would be one example of it. As for like 4, 5, and 6, it seemed like they just hit gold with 4, and then all the other games started to get progressively worse as the series progressed. With Resident Evil 6 being, like I said, the black sheep of the franchise.
I consider Operation Raccoon City the black sheep of the family, but
I'm just talking
more
about
like cancer.
I'm just talking about like mainline games for that in particular.
Oh, then RE6 then.
Yeah, I think really, especially what we're seeing now, is the main problem with people in general making changes to games is, at least for the localization stuff, from what I'm seeing, especially, I'm not trying to demonize Nintendo, but just from what I've seen from Nintendo, especially, you know, fucking Fatal Frame, this stuff, I don't like censorship, and I don't like the fact that they removed those, you know, like just stuff that they had in the Japanese version of Fatal Frame 5, and they removed it just to be, you know, I don't even know why, actually. I know that they have some people who are apparently these sort of politically correct types working on the localization, and that's what kind of scares me about that now, because there's a lot of this kind of stuff going around with, you know, localization, Nintendo specifically. and I just think that's, I don't know, that's kind of we really need to reevaluate this. We're gonna have these people working on the localization of these games. It's not good.
Yeah, don't support it.
I hate to be blunt, but honestly, I would be ashamed as a Nintendo fan at this point.
I mean, Nintendo still has good things going for it. It's just like specifically with like the Japanese stuff coming to America is where I think there's a huge problem.
Yeah, it's all in specifics though. Sure, Nintendo has done some great things, but the way they're doing things with it now,
it's
not with
becoming a trend
Japan,
for them.
but with Nintendo of America, what they're doing with it now.
I just think they've, as of late, been making some questionable business decisions. Especially, I know we're probably going to get to a question regarding this, but the NX, like, that's just, I don't know. Some people might think it's a good idea. I don't think it's a good idea.
Personally, I don't. I think the NX shouldn't exist.
I mean,
work more on the Wii
look at
U.
what happened. Look at what happened with the new 3DS. I mean, I'm sure it has, it's good in terms of its hardware, but like it doesn't have anything for it. Like there's almost no games for it.
Only one game. That's Xenoblade Chronicles 3D. That's it.
I thought Pokemon.
No.
I'm just predicting the NX is going to have a very similar turnout. So
the only thing I can see the 3DS, like there are some games that are compatible with it, like Majora's Mask 3D, Monster Hunter 4, and Smash Brothers for the 3DS. But other than that, no.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, speaking of the NX, I actually want to ask the next question in the document, which is about the NX. Let me
go right ahead.
Let me go and look for this. So
I think I'll find it for you.
Fuck!
I'll pretend like I'm looking, but
you know what? It's I kind of made a little bit of a blunder. It's in our 8th podcast, not our 7th. So
okay, well it's not.
Sorry about that.
Well,
we will talk more about the NX in depth on the 18th because there's some supposed specs being leaked out and we want to go into depth about that. So for the NX fans out there that's looking forward to more Nintendo news on that, we will talk about that in the next 2 weeks.
Next time,
and before Renegade forgets,
I'm not.
Sorry,
before he sleeps on it.
We were talking about supposedly. Remember they revealed some of the specs for the NX as rumors.
Yeah, it was rumored.
Oh,
yeah.
Like the controller, what the design of it looked like.
Yeah, the patent for the controller, everything. We're gonna talk about that in detail next week.
And how we have our great thoughts about it.
About how it looks like the Xbox One.
Let's continue with the question.
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna pick out another question. I'll pick a trivia question to break up the monotony. So I'm gonna pick one from Blue Spade. What supporting video game character should get their own spin-off game, and how should it be presented for each character? One character per person. For example, Sully from the Uncharted series, and that's from Blue Spade.
Oh, that's not good. That's not a bad idea.
I'm still.
Does Virgil count?
Yeah.
No, he's the main character.
Well, no, he's not. Dante's a
he's more of a supporting character now.
Yeah, Dante is the main. Virgil is, supporting.
Nero is also a main character.
Yeah,
we had with Jack and Daxter. We had Daxter.
Daxter got his.
Yeah.
Either that or Sparta, because Sparta's like something everybody wants.
Yeah, if I had to pick a supporting character, I would say Sparta from Devil May Cry. Dante's dad. I would love to go around and see him fuck shit up.
How he started his rebellion against Lucifer.
Yeah, everyone wants to see how it began and what happens in the middle.
Yeah, and the best Devil May Cry currently is Devil May Cry 3, which was a prequel, so I wouldn't be surprised if they tried to go back to roots again, but it's a different take on it. It's like you're playing with his dad now.
Going off the Devil May Cry thing.
No, fuck the reboot. I don't want to play with that fucking Gimp S&M motherfucker.
But going off the Devil May Cry thing, though, I know this is in the special edition where you could play as Lady or Trish, I believe.
Yeah, you can.
Yep. And also,
I would like to see maybe like a game with either one of those characters. Just
It's funny you say that. Itsuno actually was considering doing a Lady game at one time, because that's one of his favorite characters.
Yeah, because we don't know much about either of those, I believe. I don't think
we know
so.
about Lady.
Oh, we do?
Yeah,
okay.
Trish is more mysterious than Lady.
One of the games I'd like to one of the side characters, rather, I'd like them to see them make a character on is in La Pucelle Tactics, the character of Father Salad obviously has a lot of history with combating demons, things like that. I'd kind of like to learn more about him as a character, see how he started and got to where he is, to where he's this older character, but he's extremely powerful despite that.
Right.
So basically, Father Anderson for Hellsing.
If I had to pick, I wouldn't pick Adon. I want him to have his own game.
We already
know you're Adon obsession.
Alright, that's fine, Reapers. We can watch him lose the belt.
He wants his entire knee up his asshole.
I want like the origins of Adon, where he comes up and wins the belt, and then
It's
continues to win
called
it.
Street Fighter 1. He got bopped.
Oh,
Yep.
He
I have
kicks the
another.
guy in the crotch and takes the
I
belt.
think you already
Hold on. Who has the belt though?
It's a guy.
He's
No,
nuts.
he doesn't.
You know, I agree with everyone that said this in the past, but I still want the boss to have her own game.
Oh, from MGS3, yeah.
Yes, I want
That
her.
is never going to happen now.
I know, but if you're saying that they should get their own, but if they did, I really want to see how the boss became the boss.
I'm surprised
See,
no one said Gray Fox should.
That too.
Fun
That
fact: he was actually going to get his own game. Metal Gear Rising was originally
Nah,
going
he's a
to
waste
be
of a
that.
slot.
Oh, dang.
Oh man.
Hey, but at
actually
least we
would-
got Nano Machine's son out of it.
Yeah, we got fucking was Senator Armstrong.
Don't fuck
Yeah.
with this senator.
I love that guy. That was like one of the best things come out of that.
I know for a random.
We'll
boss.
make America great again.
I
King
would
Hero
rather
Sang.
go for Armstrong to make America great again than fucking Trump or Sanders.
Hopefully he rips Trump's head off.
Political
No,
name drops.
no, he
But,
does this. He ends up punting him to the moon.
What were you saying, Dom?
Because I was gonna say something, and then I know King was gonna say something, so I'll let him go first.
Oh, my fault. Nah, you go ahead.
Oh, it's fine if you want to go first.
All right. Shoot. Regarding characters who I feel that should have gotten their own spin-off game, like with Bloodborne, I feel like a lot of the supporting hunters, they should have like one big game where they go about each of their other stories in depth. Like Father
Eileen would be
Gascoigne.
interesting.
Yeah, Eileen, Voltaire, all of them.
Make that DLC.
Yeah, I would like that.
I doubt it. They're finished with DLC.
I have a
No, they're not.
suspicion what Dom's gonna say.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they are finished with DLC.
I actually would really like to see a Hunk game for the
I
Resident Evil
think you're
franchise.
gonna say that.
There's we don't know much about him, and there's the potential rates itself right there. Just don't make it an action game, and it would be a great horror game.
We need a Moira game.
I've got
No, wait,
yeah,
Swear
like
to
in
God,
regards
Reapers.
to Resident
Only
Evil,
new Reapers, which
like
I
in regards to
would
Resident Evil, like after since I just recently finished Zero, I'm surprised like either Rebecca or Billy don't have a game that focuses on that just is another game where he plays either just Billy or
Isn't Billy
Rebecca or-
like gone after Zero? Like he doesn't
Yeah,
do
he
this
just
anymore.
it's kind of weird
in
how he
my
just
open
leaves and
league.
he's not there.
He's in my.
He's
Yes, that
he's not in
also
any other
applies to
RE game.
Like, or if they
Carlos.
were just to make Revelations 3, just have it about them. Because, Revelations 2 was about fucking Barry, so just make one about Billy or Rebecca, or Bill. Hell, have Billy and Rebecca come back again just to see them back together again. I would love to see that because I actually liked them in Zero, and I'd like to see them come back.
That
So
kind of
I-
happened to Carlos as well. Nobody knows what happened to him after RE3.
Yeah.
I would going back to like Capcom games. For me, I know that they haven't really done anything with the series, but I would have loved to see a game about Proto Man from Mega Man.
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
But didn't they bring him back for Mega Man 9 or 10 with DLC of his own?
They brought him back. I know he was a added character in Mega Man Power Up on the PSP.
I actually have
but-
that game. But anyways, I said I have that game. I was adding on to that. Sorry.
Yeah, I haven't played 9 or 10, so I wouldn't know if they added like DLC, but I would assume
did.
it's much the same.
Proto
Like, in
Man is
Powered Up.
playable.
They
Mega
did, but
10.
Proto Man plays differently from Mega Man. That's why.
Can I piggyback off that?
Go ahead.
No.
I would want to see a Zero game made by Platinum.
Hype.
I definitely would.
Hype.
I would if they put thought into it.
All I need is Zandatsu for him.
Sentatsu.
Yeah, and that would be, well, considering all the abilities, Twin Dream, all that other stuff.
Man, just give us.
They could make it
Yeah,
work. Zero has enough stuff to work with.
Well, yeah, because Zero is kind of still a little mysterious too. Because at one point he was a Maverick, and they don't really ever go back into like his origin. I mean, I know that like it's kind of implied, he was Wily's ultimate creation, but they
Yeah.
never really go into like when he woke up and like how he became from a Maverick to like a Maverick hunter.
Wait, yeah, they do.
Oh,
The fight when he first fights Sigma and he gets the crystal on his head broken, it releases the
X4,
Sigma
right?
virus.
Yeah, Mega
Yeah,
Man
X4 tells you
okay.
about it.
Oh god. Okay.
That's why Sigma's evil.
I know this is going to be really weird coming from me. Why don't they make a game based around Igor from the Persona series?
No.
What's he gonna do?
Yeah, he's
I
old.
have one for Mitsuru.
Well, no. Think about it. Like how he became like the person behind the Velvet Room.
He
'Cause his
fucked
nose was
bitches
big.
long nose style.
He has a
I
big
want
nose.
to know about it because he has like this wisdom to him. Like he's seen and known a lot of this. I want to
No,
know
he's-
what.
Levy, he's just reading off a script.
Did James just say he fucked vicious long nose style?
Yeah, he did. He did. So basically, yeah, he did.
I get all the bitches.
That's like my Bloodborne character, huh?
Velvet Room. Here,
Well, to be
stroke
fair-
my nose for good
To be
luck.
fair, I think it helps that Igor has that mystery about him that we don't know
Exactly.
much
That's
about him.
why.
Igor's fucking cool.
It will be interesting to see how he picks each of his assistants.
That's another one. That's another reason why I say that.
Simple. He drops those pants.
Ah,
Girl, you looking good.
Thank God Brandon was cut off.
can you work
No, he's
well with your
dropped those
knees?
pants.
Long
Smart,
nose
man.
style.
I can just imagine Igor one of these days. He's like, can you work well with your knees?
It's like, bitch, I'm gonna turn you into the Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Alright, everybody shut up. Don't ruin this series, goddammit.
Funny you
Next
mention
Let me,
that
tell,
'cause
let me
Igor
tell
is a
your
hunchback.
fortune. The 69 position.
Alright, I think we need to move on. Jesus Christ.
Before I kill myself.
Before Levy turns this
Tell
into a
yourself-
loop.
Are you gonna do it on stream? Good. Nope.
We're gonna do it live. Fuck it.
I'm gonna change the title to the
Fuck thing
cooperative.
sucks.
I'm gonna change the title to the cooperative porncast, everyone.
Oh my god.
Please do. This will be so great.
You remember how we were talking about MGR and
Yeah,
Senator
slide.
Armstrong?
Yeah.
Does that look familiar?
Oh yeah. Even the
No,
Oh
I-
my god, I just saw that. Can I unsee?
No. If that was the final boss, I would rip out its fucking spine.
We do. We rip out its heart.
Sendatsu.
Trump now.
No, the spine,
Armstrong
so he doesn't
confirmed?
make America great, quote unquote.
Nano
Trump
machine.
take the-
The NATO machines.
Anyways, I think we should move on with another question.
You're probably right.
Alright, yeah, we're
I
having so much
I
fun.
actually have.
Oh, let me go first. I want to go first.
Fuck you. Fine.
I got a good one. We have it's number 11, the Evo 2006 lineup. It's been revealed. What do you think of the games that have been displayed so far? And what do you personally think of the lineup? And basically, it goes as follows: Street Fighter V, Guilty Gear X Revelator, Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, Pokken Tournament, Super Smash Bros. Wii U, Super Smash Bros. Melee, Killer Instinct, Mortal Kombat X, and Tekken 7 Fated Revolution.
What the
Can I
fuck is
take a
Pokken
shot at
Tournament
this?
out there?
I said Fated Revolution, Fated
I
Retribution.
wanna
my
take a
bad.
shot.
Street
this.
Fighter, Guilty Gear,
I have
Ultimate
to.
Marvel, Killer Instinct, Mortal
It's
Kombat.
Marvel, baby.
Yeah.
Alright, I need to ask a question. There are 3 games that should not be on this list. Why are they here?
Definitely Ultimate Marvel, no.
And both Smash games, nope.
Hold on.
Actually,
Ultimate Marvel should be
according to
there.
what I hear, but everyone, I don't know why, everyone that's played Smash Brothers always tell me that Melee's the best. How? How the fuck is it the best? Oh, it has Mewtwo in it. So does Wii U. Oh,
Because
why?
I actually know the answer to that.
Why?
Why?
Because it's the most balanced.
Exactly.
Like character-wise, it's the most well-rounded.
Smash
game.
Bros. Wii U, he actually tried to make it unbalanced because he really didn't want it to be like a mainstream fighting game. So he tried
Yeah.
his best to undo that.
I've noticed that with a few characters like Pikachu. I fucking don't like Pikachu in the Wii U or Brawl. I didn't like that.
Also, Reaper, you said you want to fucking Ultimate Marvel 3. You're still playing that old ass shit.
Dude, that game has been like 5 Evos. Get rid of it already.
But if you were to
Jesus.
watch,
Street Fighter's
have you
been in
seen
more,
the tournament? Have you
I-
seen the
I-
tournament?
I
It's
see- I see how hype it could be, but literally
Yeah.
that game is like one hit, one death combo. You're
That doesn't
out.
matter. What matters is that you're enjoying watching people fucking get bodied in 2 hits.
I enjoy it, but as for playing it, fuck no.
Yeah, for playing it, no, that game sucks.
My question is, why the fuck is Pokken Tournament in this fucking thing?
I have
Hey,
no
hey,
idea.
hey, Pokken hype.
Can you imagine like
I don't see much hype in Pokemon.
Can you imagine some idiot in the Evo stage with that big ass Wii U controller?
He got like a Pikachu hat on.
Yeah.
Oh no, Raps, no.
Because you can only have one Pokken Tournament controller. The other one has to have the fucking big ass Wii U controller.
That's.
Yeah,
Can
Nintendo, what the fuck?
Alright, I'm gonna ask a stupid question, but can you use a fight stick on the Wii U
No,
or not?
you can't.
Wow.
No.
I'm just gonna say, sir, I have no contest to this because, for one, Evo is one of those things that never really interests me.
Okay.
It never does. But if I could just say like one game they could take out, I
Mortal
have
Kombat
to-
X, yeah.
What?
Mortal Kombat X.
I'm indifferent about
I'm sorry,
MKX.
I lost what you said. What?
Sorry. Who, me?
Yeah.
I said MKX, yeah.
Yeah,
Screw
that's
you.
that's one of them because I have to agree. Like I've seen people play it and I hear it about it all the time. One of my coworkers annoyingly asks if they want me to play them on Mortal Kombat X. I'm like, I don't play it. The game sucks.
He's
It doesn't suck.
He's right. No, it sucks. It sucks, Brandon.
I do think it's getting a bit overrated now.
I would rather play
it's
Ultimate Marvel vs.
oversaturated, let's
Capcom
just say
3
that.
than Mortal Kombat X.
Blue Spade asks, why isn't Blaze Blue in here?
Because it sucks. Next question.
I haven't
See,
played
look,
Blaze Blue,
Reaper's,
so I don't.
Reaper's just hating tonight.
Reapers is
Yeah, I
hating, but
agree.
I don't have an opinion. Sorry,
I'd rather have Blaze Blue on there than fucking Mortal Kombat X or
I
Ultimate.
fucking hate
Because the
you're-
Smash
you're-
Brothers taking up slots.
Yeah, Smash it.
Flip a coin for that one. Keep one and get rid of the other.
Keep Melee.
Well, I think the reason that both of them are on there, if I remember right, why they were both there at last year's EVO was because Nintendo said if they wanted to have Melee there, they had to have Smash 4. If I remember right. But to answer your question, Ren, about a fight stick, the only one I think that would work on the Wii U would be the Tatsunoko vs. Capcom fight stick. That one plugged into the Wiimote. So
That
that would
works.
be the only way I would.
that
Maybe
works.
for Wii titles it might, because it can emulate the Wii software, but I'm not sure if it would work for any
Daybreak
other
is-
games.
Is that
I'm gonna get a
confirmed that it
drink real
works?
quick.
Wait, what?
Is that confirmed that it actually works?
No, I'm just that's just my assumption from what I know from when I had a Wii U, and then knowing that those classic, they made those they're like GameCube controllers. The people who did Afterglow did the themed like GameCube controllers with like Mario, Luigi, and everything, and those plug into the bottom of the Wiimote,
It
and those
sounds-
work on the Wii U.
Yeah,
Have you
it-
guys played Tatsunoko vs. Capcom? That
No.
game is fucking bomb.
I haven't. I heard
Yes, I
of
actually
it.
It bombed alright. It bombed
Apparently-
alright.
No. Apparently, what people are saying, it's way better than Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. It's the game it should have been, basically.
Nah, I haven't played it. But
Plus,
I,
Alex is in there.
I will say to
Shut
follow
up,
up
my
on.
freaking Alex, you motherfucker.
I will
He's
say.
eventually gonna be in Street Fighter 5, so yeah.
Yeah, I will say to follow up on what Daybreaker said, it sounds questionable with how that works with the Wii U plug-in. It sounds like it just works for older games, and it doesn't work for like the stuff for the Wii U in particular.
And that's possible. Again, I've only ever seen that stick once, so I wouldn't know.
I mean, how are you supposed to play that game with the Wiimote? That's impossible.
Alright, so is everyone
Science.
done with this?
And just,
I just want to
one
know,
quick
how do you
question.
play anything with the Wiimote?
You wave it around.
What was going on, Daybreaker?
Well, I have
Break
the
the,
Wiimote in my pants.
What the fuck?
You helicopter it around?
Alright, Daybreaker, go ahead
kind
before
of
Dom cuts you off again.
Is the new Blaze Blue out in the Japanese arcades yet?
I don't know.
Who cares? That's all I have to say. It's like,
Well, because I'm thinking
I'm
that's
kidding.
probably why it's not at Evo, because
Yeah.
that version could still be in development, and it could possibly be hitting the Japanese arcades like right before Evo or something like that. Because I think they would want that version as opposed to the version we have now.
right, I'm not trying to be a dick to you. I was just,
Oh right,
fuck
Yeah.
Blaze Blue.
This fucker was just joking around.
Yeah,
With
Nah,
yeah,
I actually hate Blaze Blue, so
Oh, really?
that's
Yeah,
legit.
yeah, she does.
Blue Spade's gonna come to your house and hit you with a mallet.
Blue Spade, fight me in Street Fighter.
He probably will do
Now
that.
fight me and Blaze Blue.
I'd be IRL.
Fight me in Skullgirls.
That Marvel?
Oh shit. But I guess we can. Chaos, you were saying something?
No, I didn't say anything.
Oh, okay. So I guess we can move on to the.
Yeah, Chaos
next
talking
one.
to himself again.
You know what? Yeah,
Yeah.
Chaos can take the next question.
Oh, okay. Hold on a sec.
Yeah, Blaze Blue sucks. Oh, go on.
This guy.
Adon's garbage.
I'm telling you, man. Blue Spade gonna find you and put you in a figure 4 lead lock.
So many questions. Oh, we already did the number 21, didn't we, about the Resident Evil games?
21, I
Was that
believe
it? Was,
so. Is it crossed out?
Was that?
No, the one
Oh,
about
okay.
Resident Evil. I think we already talked about that.
I'm pretty sure we
Yeah.
talked.
The first one, yeah.
I
But I think it was adding on to
Oh,
like.
okay.
slightly
Hold on.
different.
I've got an interesting one. Okay, so on February 24th, 2016, the story trailer for Uncharted 4, Thief's End, was released to the public. However, a piece of artwork in the trailer turned out to be a piece of concept art used for Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. Naughty Dog changed and revised the artwork in the trailer and immediately issued a formal apology to Ubisoft after the change. What are your thoughts?
Why take from a somewhat crappy series into a good series?
Yeah, I don't understand that.
That's not the point, I guess.
I could
That's number
understand if they
22, by
needed.
the way.
I know, it was just a question.
Yeah,
I could understand if they needed like placeholder art until they, needed to put in art for the official game.
Question is how they get it though.
Well, I'm sure they can search it up on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sure. Just look up generic pirate art and voila, Assassin's Creed 4.
I can see.
Wait, whoa, what game are we talking about?
We're talking
This is
about
just
the Uncharted.
Uncharted
thing.
trailer.
Yeah, the Uncharted trailer taking the artwork.
It's question number.
Oh yeah, that was lame.
It's 22.
I think if they paid an homage to it, like they say, yeah, this is a clear reference to, some stuff from Assassin's
They should have put
Creed.
credit. They should have credited
Yeah,
them
they
in
should
the,
have
in the
credited
trailer.
the guy.
Well, they didn't take it directly from the game, did they? Like, wasn't it like an artist?
It's not.
No, it's just concept art.
Oh,
They didn't even use the concept art, or at least on the landscape is just like drawn in inside the art
To
book.
be honest, they should feel honored that they even did that
yeah, I don't know why that's
because they're admiring a piece of art that they made. So it's not like they're shitting on
Yeah,
it.
it's really good art too.
Yeah, the whole situation seems just kind of stupid to me. It's like, why would you go after them for something like that? I don't know. But whatever.
Yeah, they could have just like did something back, like the next Assassin's Creed have some sort of Uncharted thing in their trailer.
Yeah.
This is a nice little homage or reference. I think that it would have got them less into hot water if they just put a little credit at the end of it saying that, yeah, we're inspired by, Assassin's Creed to put this in here. We have the whole pirate theme going on. So that's why we used it. It turned to a clusterfuck afterwards, and it's like people were saying Artgate, hashtag Artgate on Twitter, trying to boycott the game. I think that definitely, even if I'll say Ubisoft, Naughty Dog fucked up. The fact that the fans took it to like a whole nother level was just jarring to me.
Yeah, it's like that.
Wait, so
artwork was
people
too
were gonna
sexy,
boycott
so
the
they
game
censor
just
it.
because they took some art from Assassin's Creed?
Yes, they
That's-
were going to boycott the game because
That's
of that.
dumb.
That is
That's
dumb.
fucking stupid.
If you're
Then
listening
again,
and you are one of those people, you're an idiot.
Then again, it's like
yourself.
it's like boycotting the new Star Wars movie because it's racist. How?
How
What
is it
the-
racist?
It wasn't.
I
it was
don't
a,
even
that was
know.
A
It's a
joke.
bunch of fucking
It was a joke.
dumbasses.
Well, people will complain about anything, so it's,
I heard it was a joke. Apparently.
But still, they'll complain about anything just to get attention.
Yeah,
Well, fuck them. The Star Wars movie was like the highest selling movie ever.
Yeah, it's the best Star Wars movie.
But
And fight.
Oh,
it's like the
and how
best
are you gonna
movie in
boycott
general,
Deadpool
apparently.
because it's not a superhero movie?
And
He
Ren
even
looks like
says
Finn.
it's not a superhero movie.
fuck off.
He's not. He's an anti-hero.
Mm-hmm.
But as I said,
Okay, back to the point. Back to the point.
back to the point because we're diverging. Like I said, the fact that even though keep saying Ubisoft because Ubisoft, I'm used to saying that
used to the
Ubisoft is
roast?
like, I'm used to roasting them and not Naughty Dog in this case, so it's kind of weird. But the fact that Naughty Dog did mess up here is, like I said, is they could have put the end text at the end. and it wouldn't have been a problem. But the fact that they didn't do it and the fans took it to a new level is jarring. Like, if you don't want Uncharted 4, just say that you don't want it, and don't post some propaganda bullshit saying you're unsupporting it because of the art. Afterwards, Naughty Dog did clarify and apologize about taking that, and I think they did replace the art afterwards.
They did.
Yeah, they did. So it got cleared up really fast. I think people were basically making mountains out of molehills with that whole situation.
And Xbox fanboys were having
Well,
all
that's
that.
the internet in general, though. People always make mountains out of
You want to know why? It's because that art was too sexy and they had to censor it.
Yeah.
It was triggering.
Yeah, it triggered a lot of fans, alright, to the point they need to.
No. And if you're an Xbox fanatic, cut that shit out and go back and stick your dick in the HDMI port.
Alright, good job, Ren. Left field insults.
Yeah, bravo.
Came out of nowhere.
Give this man a cookie.
I'm literally, like I said, I literally just like...
It's all in good fun for the most part.
It's all in good fun, but the fanaticism does need to stop. I guess we can move on to another question in the document. In case you're interested.
I have one because I have something about it. Okay. On February 8th, 2016, video game website Game Trailers closes down after 13 years of operation. One of the main reasons for the site's downfall was because the media sites such as YouTube emerging as the primary source for videos, including video game trailers. What are your thoughts on this long-time website shutting down? Good, because you should have died off.
Good riddance.
Good riddance as well.
You want to know why I say this? They actually made a top 10 list of the games that should have died off.
And Tales series got on it.
They put Tales, like the Tales series, as one of them, and that pissed off a lot of people.
Also, I'm gonna sit this one out because I think that I don't wish them any ill will or any ill intent or stuff like that.
Yes, you do, Renegade. It's just you we're talking about.
No, that's Capcom.
I didn't want them to literally die. We just want them to
say is that they had a war that came from this. The only good thing that they did, they got a war between the Sonic the Hedgehog Twitter and Game Trailers. How they put Sonic the Hedgehog as the second series that should die.
Okay, I actually agreed with that one, though.
Called them out and said that, you gave Sonic Generations an 8 and you want the series to die already.
But I'm like,
that's true though. That kind of contradicts you, dude.
But I'm gonna sit it out because I don't have much to say about Game Trailers. But I wasn't a fan of their reviews. I can tell you that much.
Yeah, I can't speak much on it either because the only exposure I really have to them is just their reviews, and they used to be okay reviews, and then I know like the more recent ones.
They're IGN, but worse.
Oh god, it's
I used to love Game Trailers. They used to be my freaking homepage.
Yeah.
Yeah, another exposure that Chaos got was the top 10 of the games that should die off.
Yeah, Bossman was cool.
No, actually, there was he put the guy who did it put Hyperdimension Neptunia on there, and he said that the game series should have died off within the first title. It's like, okay, so a game that wouldn't even have gotten out with its first title should have died already.
Shout out to Funny.
I not to back Funny completely, but I've heard the games are actually pretty decent despite how weird they are.
I actually own the games, including the one for PS4. It's not a bad series.
Legacy Secret Weave.
It's not a bad series. The only problem that the series brings out is that you're automatically a weeaboo just because you play the games. No.
Well, it's true.
You're a weeaboo.
By that logic, you're a weeaboo if you play Street Fighter.
You're a weeaboo.
Yeah, well, by that logic, you're a weeaboo
ruin the Japanese culture. That's it.
If you play any of the Tales games, if you play any of the Final Fantasy games, if you play
anything
that has an
Japanese,
anime art style,
you're a weeaboo.
Basically anything Japanese.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sadly, people do have that mentality, though.
Yeah, they do. I know sometimes, most of the time it's
games.
joking, but sometimes people are like serious about it.
Yeah,
It's like, are you fucking retarded?
It's an annoying overused word.
I think Dom was talking.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that I partially agree with Ren because on the one hand, there are some people that might not everyone that worked at Game Trailers was probably like that. I mean, sure, maybe the people that were more on the spotlight were, but people probably lost their jobs and they were counting on a paycheck and whatnot, and now they have to look for a job.
Or they can go freelance.
Okay, no, I'll say there's one good thing about Game Trailers: their reaction to Final Fantasy 7 and Shenmue 3.
Oh right, yeah, I saw that.
That was cool. I like that. Hey, Dark, what do you think? You haven't said anything.
I'm sorry, I don't have much of a thought on the issue. You guys have pretty much covered everything on it.
Dark says fuck game trailers, apparently. Well, I
I'm
think Dark
sorry.
wants to go next to pick the next question. Whenever you guys are ready to switch over.
Oh yeah, I think we're done for this now.
Yeah, we
go ahead, Dark.
I have nothing more for them.
Yeah, we done roasting game trailers.
Pretty much.
All right.
Boo, you.
Go ahead, brother.
Gonna go with 7. Ubisoft has also revealed that their fiscal year during March of 2017 will include new release of Watch Dogs 2. Considering how Watch Dogs was unanimously a bit of a disappointment, do you have any hopes for the sequel? Since Ubisoft has improved on a little bit of their assets like Rainbow Six Siege and The Division, would that transition over to Watch Dogs 2 in your eyes? In this case, I
have to wait and see.
I think that they could.
Not so much. I mean, I think it would be a good game, though.
I thought Watch Dogs was okay, but at the same time, I didn't really care for it because everyone remembers the trailer they had from E3.
E3 where they showed off the
how they showed
graphics.
off there's you see this guy, he's like, okay, he has mistakes, he's done a lot of things, and you see him kicking ass. It's like, okay, this is the game we want. Then they changed everything, and it's like, why?
They downgraded it severely. They lied to people about it, and then the game came out, and it was this big AAA game, and it just turned out to be a very underwhelming GTA clone.
It's essentially
GTA.
It's essentially GTA Chicago, only done by Ubisoft and not Rockstar.
GTA with a phone that does super tech shit.
Yeah, you're a quote unquote hacker. Right.
Oh wow!
Sounds like modern day. All right.
I'm a hacker.
I do remember a commercial for it. How there was a guy who would fix someone's phone, and he basically made the phone destroy things like vandalism and all that.
It seemed like it would be an interesting concept, but just not so much in execution, I guess. You can basically use this hacking ability to fuck up the infrastructure of the city. I mean, it seemed like an interesting idea, but it's just not fun to play.
The hacking was cool, but the driving sucked ass.
Oh,
Driving in that game was terrible.
Worst driving since
GTA
GTA 4, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
fuck,
Renegade, no.
Yeah, I heard the
Hey,
driving.
Loophole, shout outs to you.
Do you like constant ice physics when there's no ice? You'll love the driving then.
Oh, so
Shout out to Loophole, GF4 sucks.
I just want all of you to know that my city disowns that game.
Wait. James, you said a game with ice physics with no ice? Oh, you mean Wally Bear and the No Gang?
I don't get what the references is.
Basically that game it's basically a whole game, a platformer with ice physics with no ice.
I'd rather play.
That sounds like cancer.
I'd rather play Bugsby than play that fucking game.
I'd rather
I never met this Bugsby. Who's Bugsby?
Who's Bugsby?
Oh my god, I haven't heard
he
of
said
him since
no.
Sega Genesis.
No, Bugsby, Bubsy, whatever the fuck it is. I'd rather play that.
Yeah.
Bugsby.
So you guys wouldn't give.
Stupid.
So essentially the HoloLens Conquer game that has nothing to do with Conquer. It's like
Talk about that.
Yeah,
Talk about that.
no one talks about that.
We don't talk
I'm
about
sorry, it's basically Bubsy trying to be Conquer. I'm sorry.
To get back to Watch Dogs, though, I am interested to see, maybe, hopefully, I know this is being really optimistic, but maybe they'll actually give us something good with Watch Dogs 2, but I highly doubt
Wishful
it,
thinking, I'm afraid.
that's, I don't know. And first of all, I don't know why the fuck, okay, the first game, it was not very well received. Why make a sequel? It
Because
just
it's
doesn't-
sold enough, probably.
I think they are. Didn't they already say that they wanted it to be a franchise?
Yeah.
Oh, they did? Oh.
Yeah.
Hold on, you guys are saying
They are a franchise.
watch
Oh, Assassin's
underscroll
Creed.
dogs.
Watchdoggy.
Watch underscroll dogs.
On
Oh, fuck the
All right,
people who say
watch
that.
underscore dogs.
You know,
underscore dogs, really?
Wait,
it's called.
watch. What if the second one had watch
Guard
underscore
dogs.
dogs underscore 2?
No, it's watch
So,
underscore dogs hashtag.
Does someone need to fix that title?
Hashtag 2.
And someone is gonna actually call it the COD dog, and it has the Call of Duty dog from Ghosts.
Vocab dog.
I'm sorry, if I want to play a good game with the title dogs in it, I'll go play Sleeping Dogs.
Dogs,
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, Sleeping Dogs was
definitely.
amazing.
Essentially,
Make it sequel
essentially
to Sleeping
Hong Kong
Dogs. Make another
GTA
Sleeping
Bruce
Dogs.
Lee
I want to see
edition.
more Sleeping Dogs.
True Crime Hong Kong.
What
Yeah.
Chinatown Wars should have been.
Yeah.
Fuck Watch Dogs. Just make another Sleeping Dogs. I don't want.
Yeah, that was like a
that's
game that was
wrong
like a
company.
sleeper hit.
Wasn't that
Definitely.
made by Square Enix or published by
Yeah.
Square
It
Enix?
was
published.
It was
published by
originally
Square.
it was originally True Crime Hong Kong, and then Activision canceled the project. Square Enix picked up the rights to it, and they turned it into Sleeping Dogs.
Yeah, so it's basically it's developed by United Front Games.
They did a good job.
Wait, United Front Games. That sounds familiar.
They were relatively
Sounds
new when that game came out, so I'm not sure if they share some aspects with the True Crime developers, but yeah.
They are the people. I'm going to tell you what they've made. They are the people that made besides Sleeping Dogs. Worked on Halo, the Master Chief Collection, and Tomb Raider Definitive for the Xbox One, but they are best known for making Mod Nation Racers for the PlayStation 3 and Little Big Planet Karting.
Really?
That would explain partially why the driving mechanics are good in that game, because they are
because
fairly
Mod
good.
Nation Racers.
Yo, jumping from
I think
car
they
to
also
car.
The racing was great.
I think they also brought in some people that worked on the Need for Speed games, so that's also part of the reason why the driving is good in that game.
You know, intentional plugs intentional. Go play Mod Nation Racers for the PlayStation 3. It's really good.
I haven't played that game in a while, man.
It's really good.
Man, you know what driving game I miss? Fucking Motorstorm. That shit was awesome.
Shout out to Tom for
Other good
driving games.
Yeah.
Sony, I'm sorry again. Sony, make Motorstorm for PlayStation 4.
There's one racing game that I like. I can't remember the name though.
It was Apocalypse.
Twisted Metal?
That's Twisted Metal.
Full Auto.
Wipeout.
Oh, that's one of them actually. Wipeout was pretty good.
Full Auto is another one. Twisted Metal. Burnout.
What about
Wipeout.
F-Zero?
Wipeout.
F-Zero.
I'm sorry.
Falcon.
Oh.
Hey, who wants a
Rocket
Falcon Punch?
Now it's just
F-Zero
us
was amazing.
saying some stupid shit now.
Do you mind if I read off the next question then, since we're kind of done with this?
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I think we talked about this a little bit before, but not on this podcast, but outside of this. Yoshinori Ono, the producer of Street Fighter V, let it slip that fan favorites are going to be resurfacing in the future from Capcom's R&D team. One of the IPs being highly discussed at the moment is the return for the Onimusha franchise. What do you hope, or what are your hopes for the series if it returns, if it were to be a reboot or a continuation? I want to say this as a big Onimusha fan, because this is Ono and because he made Dawn of Dreams. I'm skeptical, because on the one hand, it's great that he's talking about Onimusha and we can potentially get Onimusha back, but on the other hand, he could make another Dawn of Dreams where it's a very underwhelming game, and looking at his current track record, it might not, turn out to be a very great game, especially
Prepare
at
for an
launch.
apology and day one patch.
Yep.
I
That's
don't have
exactly
much-
my issue with that.
Yeah, I don't have much to say about this, but I do hope that if they do revitalize the series, that mostly Capcom's R&D takes care of it. Maybe if I don't think they're going to do this, but maybe if they strip some of those executive rights for Uno coming in, because he already fucked up kind of. Yeah, I'm gonna play some Uno after this podcast. But if they just strip some of those rights from him and they just sort of like, let some new blood come in there, or maybe a fresh developer, someone that could take the reins, then I would definitely be a lot more excited than him bringing back the project. I am skeptical too. I think that personally, I think a reboot might be beneficial, and maybe they can release an HD collection so they can get more people involved in the series of the older games, because I think that that's one of the HD collections that they really should release at this point. It's
Yeah,
Onimusha
agree.
HD.
There's a lot of fan-made cover art for it.
Yeah, we haven't seen an Onimusha game since the PS2 era, have we?
Souls.
Well,
if you count
technically
that.
you can count Soul, but Soul is a card game, so I don't count it.
Yeah.
I
actually
haven't
haven't played any of those games, but they look interesting though. So
I'm actually gonna. I'm gonna piggyback what Chaos said. I hadn't played them either, but I need to get into playing them. Which one should I go for first? The first one?
First 3, Demon Siege is probably my favorite of the bunch.
Yeah, I like Demon
so
Siege
essentially all of them, but Dawn of Dreams. Okay.
Dawn of Dreams is hit or miss for most people.
It's a big miss for you, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's a very big miss for me, but it has a small following, so you might like it. You might fall into that small crowd that likes it. But as far as which one you should start off with, I would recommend Warlords on PS2, but later down the line you should definitely check out Genma, because Genma is basically the director's cut, and it does some interesting balancing changes and introduces new content and new gameplay mechanics.
Levy, do you have an OG Xbox?
Yeah,
Like the
no,
first one?
I need to get it.
I think it's backwards compatible on the 360. Genma is.
Yep.
So you can play it on that.
Did you beat that game yet, James?
No.
Yes, he did. He totally
What'd
did.
you say, Dark?
Probably one of the more important things that you need to keep in mind when they're doing this is the biggest mistake I can see them making is not doing it the right way with characters, things like that. But the biggest mistake that they could make is looking at this and saying, let's just put as little effort in as possible and just relying on the fan hype and then just basically betraying their fan base and then wondering later on why they're not going to get any further support. But the biggest thing is just not to worry about making something that just not to make it just to make it for the hype, to actually put effort and love into it.
To kind of go off of that, I mean, because we don't even know if they plan on rebooting it or continuing where Dawn of Dreams left off, or if they even plan on like remaking the original one, considering that it was originally started off as a late PS1 title, but became a early PS2 title as soon as it came out. So they could potentially remake the original, but we don't know.
All right.
So, does anyone else want to go on the Onimusha topic, or should we move on?
You should give it to Ninja Theory.
No,
fuck
you
off.
can burn in hell.
Oh, okay,
Wow.
Brandon. So you want them to make it DMC reboot style?
Yes, because I haven't played the game, so I don't.
So it's Imumusha?
No, yeah, it's
gonna be
Imumusha then? Okay.
I'm proud of
They're
you,
gonna probably
Brandon.
call it Demon Musha because it's all Demon and Oni mean the same
Yeah,
thing.
it's Imumusha.
You're the
It's
master
gonna be
troll.
Emu
Good job.
Musha.
Sounds amazing.
I ain't did anything, Reapers. Why are you blaming me for?
I didn't say. I said I was proud of you.
So, Brandon, you want Onimusha Demon Warriors, which is what Onimusha means in English.
He wants a bad game. That's what he wants.
Yeah. Hey, Brandon,
You basically
we don't
want a
support-
30 frames per second game.
We don't
with
support bad games.
We don't support your love of shit.
That shit will be below 10 frames.
Okay, I have something to add,
Hey.
but it's nothing to do with Onimusha.
Hey.
Apparently IGN reviewed Bravely Second.
Oh.
Okay. So.
Yeah, they gave it a 7.1 and criticized it for its story and voice acting.
Are we really gonna take IGN reviews fucking seriously?
Yes.
No, but
Too
it's
much
something to
water.
look forward to because this is one of the games that Nintendo kind of botched.
No.
Those guys are legit.
Those guys fucking criticize too much water
Guys are
being
the
in a
best.
video
Too
game.
much
We're
water.
gonna really take them seriously.
That's track record. Go ahead.
No way.
They said Adon was cool, so I had to disagree with them.
You're dumb.
Oh,
Next
wow.
question.
Yeah, next question on that. No.
Did Ninja Theory take over Onimusha? Yes.
Oh man, that's
So,
funny.
Anyways,
Dom,
And Dom is going to throw you off a cliff now.
Dom's gonna fucking kill you, man.
Basically, I'm just gonna judgment cut end you.
Good luck with
I'm,
that.
I'm sorry, I can't hear Daybreaker. Should you answer a question or ask one?
Then Dom want to go next or
Dom already
Yeah.
went.
I already
Oh,
won.
okay.
The
Daybreaker
19 was
needs
the
to
one
ask
I asked.
All right,
Uh,
good. Make sure you guys
What
are
about
strike throwing
Reapers?
that shit. 'Cause
Either me or Reapers, I guess.
yeah, Reapers and Daybreaker.
Reaps.
Go ahead, Daybreakers. I'm gonna take a break on this one. You go ahead.
Okay. Look through here and see what we have not. Okay, we'll do this one. Sony Computer Entertainment went out of their way to trademark the phrase "Let's play" and miserably failed at this premise. Are you surprised at this revelation? No, not really.
No.
Not really. That sounds like something like it'll be a name of arcade and stuff.
No.
My answer is no. Next question.
Mine is
Nintendo tried
no.
to do that as well, didn't they?
My answer is no, but I am very glad that they didn't succeed with it.
It's the English fucking language. You can't do that.
They're dumb.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know why they did that.
So
Hey, James,
if
be
I
careful not to react to it.
so if I ask someone if if I even say let's play Siege, Sony comes out of nowhere, it's like, nope, I'm gonna sue you for that word.
You pay me.
Again,
really
you
glad
cannot
You gotta
trademark
make
the
sure
English
we're not
language.
reacting to it
Okay.
either.
Oh yeah, okay. You know what this is reminding me of?
No.
Remember Candy Crush?
Where they
yeah.
trademark
Okay.
candy.
That.
Company King, the people that they went out of their way to go after the Banner Saga by trademarking the word saga.
Good luck with
This
that.
is what this is reminding me of, and it's so stupid.
It seems like what Sony is trying to do in this case is, I think they're trying to do what Nintendo did without doing exactly what Nintendo did, which got them in a lot of hot water, which was to say, oh, okay, if you make a playthrough of our game, we're going to get the money. If they can trademark Let's Play, then by doing that, they can more or less, get exactly what they want and kind of try and maybe skirt it under the rug or hope no one would notice.
Yeah, it's definitely very shady.
It's stupid.
It's dumb. Like, I'm kind of glad that never came to me. That's really. I don't even know why they tried to do that first.
Yeah, they're dumb for trying.
For attention. No.
Also, I got a quick question. Apparently, the division is not accepting advanced reviews.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, then
There's not-
again,
to be fair, there's not much
from
of an
what I've
advanced
seen,
review
it's
to give.
basically an MMO style game. So to not give advanced copies is a good idea.
But do you guys think that they should definitely do stuff where certain games don't have embargoes, or do you think that they should adhere to that like 24/7 all the time? Because there are some people that want to get their early impressions of the game out there, but I can sort of see why some developers are sort of like they hide embargoes under the rug because they don't want the game to be heavily criticized because of reviews, and it's going to anyway. Some people are going to believe in that instead of buying the game.
I think that when it comes to having an embargo, it could be a good thing considering that we've seen, like, in some cases with, like, Metal Gear Solid 5, for example, people were praising it, saying it was, pretty much the best Metal Gear to come out. And lo and behold, it was a very underwhelming Metal Gear Solid game. Had some good gameplay mechanics, but it was missing a lot of features that you would come to expect from previous games.
Yeah,
and the story was
just cut and butchered, and yeah, it just.
I think that when you make products like these, you have to have a certain amount of confidence in them. So if you already know, like, the game plays well, it feels great, you definitely want to get the word out more, because then it's going to make people more interested into buying it, as opposed to saying, well, you know what, this is not going to come out until like a week after because we want to just, have word of mouth, have it all settle in beforehand. I mean, both aspects are good, that people will be talking about the game afterwards, but I do think that if they just put those reviews out there, if they put that content out there, then people are gonna give it praise regardless.
I can see both sides of the argument, really. Like, I can see how it would help your game, like, if you don't have the embargo, but then at the same time, I can see, like, maybe you don't want, you're afraid, like, okay, say, for example, this is, like, you're maybe a new developer or you're like a new company making a game, and you're kind of afraid of how it's going to be received, and you don't want it to be so heavily criticized right before it comes out. So I can see that too. So I mean, I can see how it would it can be both a detriment as well as a help promote your game. But it really depends on the situation.
It does depend, and I also think to fix the criticisms, they should definitely keep to the old days of how they used to release stuff. Like they used to release betas and demos fairly early, and anyone could get their hands on them. Nowadays, it's like, they still release demos and stuff.
Those?
Demos and stuff like that, but now they're in the form of pre-ordering the game. So if the consumer does not have their hands on the product, then it's going to be a lot harder for them to give like good feedback or feedback in droves, because it's kind of limited for them to get a copy. So I believe that just release a demo out there, get the word out there first, and then you can worry about all the stuff later when you get the feedback.
One of the things that's kind of getting a lot of these developers in hot water, I think, is that when you have these embargoes where you say you're not allowed to review it, it's just like in the old days where you didn't have any kind of real reviews when a game first came out. You went to the store, you bought it, you ran that risk of potentially wasting your money. Mm-hmm. But on the plus side, with the embargo, I almost think that if this trend is going to keep up, what people need to start doing is look less at the game and things like that, more at the developer's track record. If this is a new developer, you know what? Give them a chance. But if it's a developer that we've seen their games before, they don't come out with good product, or maybe it's not finished, you probably should wait to buy the game.
Yeah, there's a reason to be skeptical.
Yeah, I do agree. Like, the track record is like the one thing that either helps a company or breaks a company. That's a good point.
I think they shouldn't have embargoes. If you don't have any faith in your game, then don't make that game. That's all I have to say about it.
Yep. There's actually another instance where it has to do with the developer or publisher, how most of them will just pay off the reviewer, say, "Oh, give this game a good score."
Oh, you mean like Ninja Theory?
Yeah, that has happened in
like
the past.
Ninja Theory is one. Another one I'm using this as an example, even though the game was really great. Shadow of Mordor, when that came out, they were trying to like bribe people to say that the game's really, really good. Like, it's the perfect game. There's no flaws, even though there is.
Yeah, that's happened in the past. And even though like a lot of people tend to do shit like that, that is more reason to doubt certain things. It's like, to me, the true experience of playing a game is wait until you get your hands on it and then give your impressions from there. If you aren't going to like the game and how it plays right off the bat, then I think that should be a clear indicator of, your thoughts on that. But if you love it, if you play it for a long time, then I think that possibility could happen where people will get more invested into the product and they will buy more DLC or more like stuff that they use to support the game. Go ahead, Chaos. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I wanted to get that last point.
I was just going to say, I actually remember, I don't think this has to do with an embargo, but I remember there was a situation when the Order 1886 came out that they didn't want any gameplay footage to be shown before the game was released or something. And there was some footage that was leaked on YouTube, and I think the developer was like freaking out about it or something. And I don't know. But I don't know. I guess that was just a similar situation that happened that I recall.
And then that game turned out to be awful.
Gore the Movie Gods asked, did Ninja Theory buy reviews, or is that a joke?
No, they actually would not allow any negative reviews of the game.
Mm-hmm. Which game is this?
DMC, of course.
Yeah, I actually remember that I tried to make a video about it. Like, I showed like my impressions of it. I said that it was okay, the gameplay of it was fluid, but I just think that it was kind of meh. Capcom
Bad
blocked
DMC
it.
game.
No, Capcom blocked it.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I was like, okay, delete this video. I'm not gonna do this. Do another game instead.
Yeah, because I don't even want to get into that. It's embarrassing.
Like, all right, it's weird. Like, to me personally, there are like exceptions to the rule. Like, if I see a game that gives massive critical hate, no fan wants it, nobody wants to deal with it, nobody wants to talk about it. It's just like a bad taste in people's mouth. And then when it comes out, I just see it getting like 10 out of 10s. That is going to be questionable to me, because it's like, you have one side that are the fan reviewers, which, you know, they're obviously going to talk from word of mouth. Then you have the corporate people, which are like, you know, they're more shady. They have been shown to, you know, take money from the table.
King bullshitters.
Yeah, king bullshitters, pretty much. And it's like, I don't know if I should really take their word over my own. That's how I feel about the situation.
Kane and Lynch is a very good example of when you had someone fired over giving their honest review because it didn't fit what they wanted to sell.
Well, then again, it was a good thing that he got fired because that guy ended up creating Giant Bomb.
Giant Bomb's trash too.
Yeah, it's better than game trailers.
As far as on the topic of like reviewers and whatnot, as far as that goes, I really feel like they should talk about whether or not at the price point that it comes out on a particular game, if it was worth picking up at that particular price. And that's why whenever I talk about a game that I've played, and I don't necessarily talk about it immediately at launch because I want to put in hours into the game, I think it's best that you look at the price point and you take into consideration whether or not that it's worth the price that you paid for. And I think that's what a lot of reviewers need to strive to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Definitely. So, did anyone else want to go on this topic, or is it done?
What's the topic about again?
Do you want to know another game that actually got a really big negative reception? There was no advanced copies out there, and that ended up bombing. That I ended up doing a series of?
Ride to Hell?
Oh, Ride to Hell.
That is another one.
Fuck that unfinished garbage.
Hey, you fuckers asked for me to play the DLC.
I didn't ask for you.
Riding with your clothes.
I didn't ask for squat.
I didn't ask for this.
I randomly put it on there. You fuckers asked.
Yeah,
I didn't think you'd actually do it.
And I did do it. I can finally say ILP the worst game ever made.
And you're gonna do it again.
I would not say that's the worst game.
It's not the worst game. No, it is considered to be in today's society one of the worst games.
Maybe the worst modern game.
No, it's one of the worst video games ever made.
Well, it is one of the worst games ever made.
That's another one. Okay, Yahtzee.
Yeah, when people say the worst, is like widely defined at this point because there's so many different games that can be considered bad.
Mm-hmm.
Big Rigs.
Another one. Daikatana.
Kane Lynch to fuck that game. Fuck everything about it.
Another one? Well, Bubsy.
I have to stare at male ass like, what is this?
What is this garbage? Like, what the fuck?
Another one. Anyways,
Cam.
I think who's going next, either King or Reaper?
Said he wanted to handle the next question.
Oh, okay.
Alright, I'll choose number 10. Street Fighter V will be getting a cinematic story mode DLC this June, and it will be free for PS4 and PC. Is this something that you'll be looking forward to playing?
Absolutely.
I mean, personally, I have to say yes, because I heard like the original retail release of Street Fighter V was kind of gimped outside of the multiplayer aspects.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Grandpa.
My answer is absolutely. I love Street Fighter, and Alex, that's it. Next question.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know, I'm gonna see where they're going for the lore now. For Christ's sake, go past 3 already.
I'm interested to see how the Third Strike characters and Street Fighter 4 characters are going to mix up because it is a bridge between the two games.
Hey, Capcom, complete the game.
Hey, Capcom, where's Alex?
Where's that March update?
Where's Akuma?
Where's the 8 lobby?
Akuma's in Tekken.
I'm gonna say this right now.
He's Tekken. I don't know. I know he's Tekken, but I just want to Street Fighter as well.
Too bad. Go ahead. Go ahead, Levy.
Too bad, man. I love Tekken too, so fuck off.
My answer for this, is this something that I'll be looking forward to playing? No, because I don't have the game yet.
Oh, jeez.
Broke ass nigga, wreck.
Do you want it?
Hey, I may be broke, but I'm gonna get a badass paycheck later
Levy,
on. So
Levy, if you had the game, would you play it?
Would you give it to me?
No,
you
maybe.
wouldn't.
Fucking nepotistic bitch.
Hey Reapers, I need you to do me a favor since you got that hookup. You know, why don't you put 100 coals in the stream?
Yeah, let's do a giveaway right now. One of you guys can win.
Please do.
Oh shit.
Hey. If you can say in the comments Reaper's his favorite color, he'll give you a game for free.
It's my favorite Street
It's
Fighter
obviously
character.
Adon.
Make sure you say it's pink.
Adon's a color.
Now it is.
It's pink.
Look at Brandon over here. What a faggot. Anyways, continue.
I didn't do anything.
Oh shit! Did I say that on live? Oh fuck! My bad, Brandon. Faggot.
I got a feeling that the cinematics is I'll be interested to see how they turn out for sure. It's good to see that they are actually putting these updates out, especially since it's something that's going on over time. But I'm curious to see. I'm going to be curious to see if they're going to use the in-game engine to render them, or if they're going to be pre-rendered.
Didn't Street Fighter 4 do that?
Do what?
What?
Do the in-game cutscenes?
No, it was more like slideshows at
it's
the
all-
beginning. When you
It
fight
was
your
all
rival.
animations.
But
When
I
you fight your
remember
rival.
cutscenes of like Jury and Bison talking to each other.
Well, besides that, no, they don't have anything else. All the endings and openings are animated.
Lazy.
When you fight your
How's that
rival,
lazy?
that's when you get a cutscene, but that's about it.
It's lazy as fuck.
How's that lazy? No, seriously.
Because it's one of your
Explain
top
yourself.
10. It's one of your top 10 franchises. You can't put more effort into the fucking story.
How's animation lazy?
I'm
I don't
saying how
get
there is no animation. There's no
There
in-game
is animation.
shit. I know. I remember playing Street Fighter 4, and you if you start up what is it, arcade mode, whatever his pseudo story is,
Yes, animation opening endings.
that's lame.
Yeah, I still would consider. I still would consider drawn things to be animation. If it's moving, it's animation. With the rival cutscenes, they will say a little something to each other. It's standard fare at this point. I'm glad at least they do some shit, because in some fighting games they don't do that at all. It's like, oh, these dudes are beefing, right? Oh, they don't do anything. It's just fight. That's it. So I give them credit for at least still keeping to some traditions. Yeah. Of making these cool little animations here or there. But like I said, complete Street Fighter 5. I would be glad with that. I want that March update too, because I want to get into the story. I really do at this point. I think that the game at its core can be fun, but some of the problems with it are, of course, lack of content, and some of the hitboxes are really questionable.
Oh my god.
Like, I remember I beat James once, and I swear to God, like, the way I kicked him, I jumped over his head, kicked him in the back of the head, but
Which
I wasn't
made no
even,
sense.
I wasn't facing him, so it made no sense.
A boot to the head. Achievement unlocked.
I remember Kaneki tried to grab Satilius' Zangief, and even though his hands touched Cammy's shoulders, it still didn't grab her.
Yeah, stuff like that is very disappointing, considering the fact that they had a lot of time to work on this game. From what I know, wait, then again, wasn't the development time like a year ago? I'm not sure though. Quote me on that if you do.
No, I think it's about maybe 2 years.
They had more than enough time to put a lot of stuff in the game, but they didn't.
And iron out stuff like bad hitboxes, because I think that's one of the things.
It was
that could make your
announced in
fighting game.
2013, so they could. I think it's or 14.
Actually, Street Fighter 5 is not the only game to have bad hitboxes. I think it goes as far back as the NES.
Like, I don't know much about, like, I've never played many Street Fighter games, I'll be completely honest, but like, from what I understand for Street Fighter 5, it's like it's not like they're not giving us the full game, they're giving us part of the game, and then they're giving us like chunks of the game in forms of DLC.
Yeah, might as well be free to play at this rate.
I hate that though.
Yeah, but like what my point is
bad.
though is it's kind of like a bad trend. Like, it's this whole thing with the DLC where it's like, you know, okay, well, it's the game, but it's not finished. Like, we're just going to give you an unfinished game, and then like basically finish it later almost. And it's kind of like, you know, you couldn't get away with that kind of thing.
I think if someone made it a point to say, you know, that's like doing your job half done. That would get you fired. So why did they get a free pass on giving me a
like, you
half-ass
couldn't
product?
give someone half of a game. Like, you know, if you were going to release a game back in like the SNES, PS2 era, anything like that, you couldn't do that. You couldn't get away with it.
Well,
and now
we'd be screwed.
Well, I say it's catching up to them, and it's catching up to certain devs, because, like I said, there were some things, some questionable things going on with some stuff going on with Square Enix with like episodic content and things that they're trying to push. And then they're going back to Street Fighter, there's some things that they're doing there that is like, the sales are really low in Japan the last time that I checked.
Yeah, it was
Although
only
to be
46,000
fair, they
or
did say
something.
that the episodes were going to be the length of a full game. I don't know if that's true. We're gonna have to wait and see. But if it is true, then I will. I don't know. That's great. But if it's not, then I wouldn't be too surprised.
You mean for Final Fantasy VII?
Yeah, for 7.
It'd have to be like, damn, 30 or 40 hours of content for each part.
Well,
yeah.
And I guess you can throw Hitman to the table on that one as well. I don't know how that's gonna work. I really don't.
That's another thing. Hitman. Okay, if you get the collector's edition of Hitman, you get the figure of Agent 47's tie, and you get the download code for the game. You don't get the physical copy of the game, which is, in my opinion, complete bullshit.
Oh, they did that for Halo 5, and people got mad about that.
Yeah,
too.
I think it's
because they paid for a
trash.
physical copy of the game.
Capcom did that with Capcom sort of did that with Revelations 2, although I don't really fault them for the way they did it because the way that Capcom did it was that they had the first 4 episodes and those came out a month before the physical game, which had all of the content. So when the physical game came out, all of the content was on there. You didn't have to buy any DLC. It was all on disc, ready to be unlocked. So
it's basically
I
the
think
season
that way
pass.
would be better.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically the complete edition, just on a physical disc, and I think that's the best way to do it.
I think the new Hitman game is doing that too.
Yo, it is. That's what I was talking about.
Yeah, I just talked about that.
Yeah, I really hate how some games like, oh, limited edition doesn't come with the game. Not the physical copy.
It almost feels like you're being cheated out of your money when you
It's
buy
like, I want a physical copy. I don't want this
game.
flimsy little piece of paper.
I put it like this. I've seen so many memes of this, and I think this is the perfect way to cap this off. But I've seen so many memes of people just comparing food with DLC. It's like in the old days with expansion packs, you used to get so much. In the old days with the original games, you used to get so much. It used to be complete on disc. Nowadays, you go down the chart and they take all the meat out of the burger, the fucking cheese, the lettuce, the tomatoes, and then they just give you 2 pieces of bread. And that's it.
Yep.
And you're expected to pay $60 for this shit now.
Actually, what I see, I usually with the food, I think the buns is just basically what inside of the buns. You get the meat, but it's not very good, not very filling. Then you have to pay more, which you get the lettuce and tomato. It goes like that.
Don't forget about your ketchup and mustard
and the
DLC.
mustard and ketchup is
I think
bonus,
I think the
yeah.
ketchup. No, the ketchup is the costumes.
You gotta pay $20 for that. You want mustard and ketchup? Pay $20.
No, hey, basically saying, hey, you want the season pass? This gets you all the toppings, everything for fucking free.
Ketchup,
For this.
fuck you, pay me.
This call was brought to you by Burger King.
Now sells hot dogs
what
too, so
makes
it's
it
not
worse,
just
too?
Burger King.
Burger King, no, Taco Bell, no.
You know what makes it worse too is when they try to sell like different pre-order DLCs at different retailers, pretty much kind of like forcing people to either pre-order more than one copy or basically having like a particular edition or a particular bonus be available only in one store that most people might not like to go. Hello, GameStop.
Hello, GameStop. Hello, Best Buy.
Target kind
Hello.
of did
No,
that. I think Target did that kind of shit too.
I think everyone, like every game retailer,
Almost.
has that. Like, you go for this site, it has one thing, another one has one. It's stupid though. And then all of a sudden, you end up buying all DLC, and then they're like, "Oh, hey, all the other DLCs that you could probably get from pre-ordering at another store, we're gonna release all of that now."
Before we move on, I wanted to ask: does anyone here shop at GameStop?
No.
I only will.
The last time I shopped at GameStop
Not anymore.
was last year. I got
I'll admit I go there.
was for Bloodborne.
I go there on a fairly regular basis, and the only reason for
Only if
that
I
is because it's a
desperately want
5-minute drive away from my work. So I sometimes go there.
What
But
you saying, King?
Only if I desperately want something like one title, and that's about it. But don't make a habit of it.
Usually I go there just to see what they have. If they don't have anything that catches my eye, I'll just walk out. That's what Amazon's for.
Time I went
Like,
there,
to be fair,
I got
it is-
Mass Effect 2 and 3 along with Uncharted 3 used. But
To
that's
be
it.
fair, I think they have improved a little bit lately just because they have more to offer now. They have figures there, they got shirts, they got some pretty interesting things, but like I know it is primarily a game store, and this is my main fault with them is they only have the modern, modern system. They don't have like any of the like PS2, and GameCube or anything. They don't have retro stuff, and like that's my main complaint.
Yeah, they've merged with ThinkGeek. That's the reason why they have all that shit.
I only go in there to look for stuff that I'm gonna buy digitally later.
Yeah.
Or
I will say one
or-
thing
or-
though, I
or
will
just
never trade anything to them. So.
Or you're just gonna be like, huh? What
Hey,
about
man, to that.
Yeah.
Trading to GameStop is cancer.
Yeah, I
Trade-
don't.
Oh hey, you bought this new game that you got on Amazon for $60. Oh cool, we'll give you $2.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's stuff like that that makes GameStop absolute garbage. Especially with, I used to like go in there and peel off on their used games because some of them had really good deals, to be honest. But at the same time, you go in there for trading, it's like fucking murder, pulling teeth.
No, it's essentially It's like essentially paying this king like bring something. It's like, oh hey, the finest virgin. We'll just give you $5 for it. That's it.
I remember one GameStop employee told me.
But I've had this game for years. Too bad. Fuck you.
I remember one GameStop employee told me that due to the fact that the dude opened his case and he found something defective with his game and he took it back, that was the reason that they gave him $5 for a $60 game.
Wow.
Yeah, GameStop is like, it's fucking. That's one thing I don't like. It's everywhere. It's everywhere, and it's put other stores that are probably better, like local game stores, out of business. And some of them, of course, it varies, but like there's a lot of them that have people that do not know jack shit about video games, and it's just sad. Like it is sad to see so many of this fucking corporation. Not to mention, like they treat their employees like shit. So it's just it's not fun to work there.
Can attest to that.
Yeah, Daybreaker would know from experience.
I remember that I was at a GameStop and there's someone that used to work there. I was like, hey, why you stop working here? It's like because they treated me like shit and I hated working here after that.
Man,
I even told him I was thinking about getting a job at GameStop. He's like, don't do it.
I don't know where Daybreaker is right now, but we need him. That would be a fucking roast.
Daybreaker, you here?
Oh, I'm here. I'm just staying silent.
Please, give us your thoughts about GameStop.
I got no comments because nothing I'll say will be good. So you guys pretty much hit all the main points I have to say anyway. So
everyone wants to hear it. We won't judge you.
Well, just simply say
I'll
in
admit, I
3
do wanna
words.
hear it a bit.
Fuck GameStop.
Yeah, just
GameStop.
that.
No, GameStop. That last resort, you can't find a game at a good price. That's it.
Just cuss that out loud and proud.
they might still be watching me, so I better not say fuck GameStop.
He's contractually obligated not to say anything about him, just like Kojima.
Punish Daybreaker.
Punish Daybreaker. He's going nuclear, guys.
We're just fucking with you,
And
man.
Daybreaker over here is gonna he could roast them, but he's
And
contractually
then all of a
obligated
sudden,
not
here
to.
since the father starts to play.
Yeah, we're just fucking with you, man. We're just playing around. But
Yeah, no, we're not.
And now we can move on to a question.
yeah, we can move on to a question now. So let's go next.
If I could pick one, I'm going to go back to the archive questions because no one's asked these in the past podcasts ever.
Yeah, I don't know why, but you can go ahead.
I might as well because we need to get rid of these archive questions out the way.
Sure.
And here's
James
one
go.
of them.
He wanted to go.
I said I'll do the question after Levy.
All right, go.
Well, I was gonna say here's the archive question. I think
I'll do one after James too. But
it has to deal with a lot of people emulating now. Okay, I don't know how long it's been, but what the Wii U emulator called CMU being released and in very early stages with most games running at least the boot up screen. Do you think emulators are on the rise again?
Yeah.
Dio Brando has made this before.
I think someone changed that because I think that was originally. Well, you know, I'm not gonna say his name. I'll just say that he's.
That's
a flip
why I
flop.
changed it.
I'll just say he's a flip flopping scrub. So for that, yeah, go ahead, Levy.
Well done.
Well, I was gonna say, do you think emulators are on the rise again? That's the question.
I would say yes.
I would say this is the reason why I'm going to say no to this, because emulators, despite them being quote unquote on the rise, like advanced ones are on the rise, emulators are still going to be there.
I agree. PC's king
Like
for that.
here's the thing though, like I have a lot of ROMs. I have to because for one, you can't find most of the games anywhere. Like NES games, Super Nintendo games, N64 games, you just can't find them anymore.
There are also games, yeah, they're extremely rare. Like,
Yeah.
what is it, Haunting Ground or Tumba 2. Those games are great, and they're very hard to find if you would
Or,
even find them, and they're expensive.
Capcom
Clock
really
Tower
needs
for
to make an
SNES.
HD.
Dot
remake.
hack.
Yeah.
Any of the Castlevania games?
The point being, like, they're so rare, and if you're lucky enough to find it, it's expensive as fuck.
And I'm gonna say this right now. Whoever says if you're emulating games that makes you a bad person, shut the fuck up.
You can go see yourself out the door now, bitch.
But here's the thing, though. I didn't own a lot of the games that I own right now. I emulated them. Later on, as soon as I got more money, I went out and I bought them. So, fuck right off.
I don't.
Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say I don't think it's necessarily a thing of to say, well, if people say that you shouldn't emulate games. My view on it is if the game is old enough that it's on a defunct system that isn't out anymore, that's perfectly fine. But if you're talking about newer systems like 3DS or Wii U or things like that, I don't necessarily agree with it because those are current gen systems and they're still on the market and the games are still being made for it.
I mean, like that.
Sense,
my favorite argument that they always bring is you're killing the industry when you do that. It's like the industry is still going to keep going. They don't care if you pirate a few games or anything. They'll still thrive.
In my case, for emulation, there's a lot of games on my emulators that I did own when I was younger, but I cannot, I don't know where they are now, so I kind of have to replace them in some manner.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, regarding the whole like piracy thing in general, is like piracy actually sometimes can help the industry because like Witcher 2, for example, that game was pirated a lot and people ended up buying that game, ended up selling really well because so many people pirated the game, enjoyed the game, and ended up buying it later.
Fun fact, the creators of Witcher were actually people that would pirate games and send it to other people.
Yeah.
Really?
They used to be pirates, yeah, and then that's why they had this whole big the big ass fucking download because people started pirating their games and shit like that.
Now I could just see the guy at the VGAs who accepted the award for Witcher 3. I could see him as in a pirate outfit now. I don't know why.
Doing that same.
You are a pirate.
Yeah, no. When he has he has that hat and the fucking parrot on his shoulder, and when he's making that that expression, like what? I can see it with an eye patch, a pirate hat. I can just see him as that now. God damn it!
But here's the thing about emulators, though, is that although this does depend on like what system you're trying to emulate, like for PS2, for example, like some games will work really well, like other games will be really kind of unstable and have some choppy frame rate or some really weird glitches, and it does take some ironing out, and it's not perfect. Like you're not gonna just I'm gonna play this game and I'm gonna play it in HD. It doesn't really work that way. You kind of have to work some of the bugs out. You kind of have to try to like see what works, what resolution works, what's stable. It's not that as simple as just like I'm gonna play this game.
I remember your Shenmue playthrough. That shit was
that's
glitchy every time you phased in and out.
You gotta tweak it up.
That too. I was like, what?
Yeah, that's
funny.
like one of the reasons why it's not like it is a good alternative, but it's not perfect. Like it has problems, and I just really think that's why HD collections are so great because those work fine most of the time, and with Silent Hill being an exception. Those are good because then we have the games 60 frames, they look good in HD, they've been redone in HD, but yeah, like the whole thing with emulators is like it's good, but it's not perfect, like I said. So I just think it's really it depends.
To piggyback off of that, Chaos, I do agree with you there because I remember trying to get SOCOM to work on emulation. It just wouldn't work for me. I guess it was my settings that was all fucked up, but I was going to say that in some rare instances it is acceptable to me, in my opinion, because the reality is a lot of older games that they have now are not available digitally. So the only way to get those games is to either have a physical copy or to emulate them. You're only going to be stuck with like one or two options pretty much, and you're gonna have to choose eventually if you want that particular game. So stuff like Mega Man X8 or like Castlevania Symphony of the Night that are getting more like rare, and they're costing like a fortune. Like I saw the last time I saw Symphony of the Night, it was almost $300 new. So
yeah, it's ridiculous.
yeah, that when it gets ridiculous like that, that's when it's acceptable.
Right. If you don't mind me, kind of going along with that, it kind of goes back to that trivia question that I put up, the one about Sony bringing in more PC versions of PlayStation 1 games, because a lot of those games, you know, they might be harder to find physically now, and if we can get a better version that's, you know, available digitally on these consoles, I think people would be more willing to pay for them at this point.
I think we might want to be shortening our responses. It's already 3 hours and a half.
Woo! Alright then, we've been getting
we might want to hurry.
Getting in some interesting discussions.
But then again, it is going to be a long podcast because it's how long has it been since we last had one?
We haven't had a podcast since last
for a month.
Yeah, for a month. So yeah, I think this one it will be perfect. Just have a long podcast just for this once.
Man, this shit will get you through a full-time work.
Do like
a full-time work.
Ren, I don't know if you might agree or not, but I guess we can do like a few more questions before we wrap things up.
I don't mind.
No, let's do all of them. Because we always overlap with
do all of them.
Hey, Brandon, you can fuck off.
Let's do all of them.
No.
Go over. Come on, all of them, man.
No.
Fuck it, let's do it live.
Let's do it live.
I'll go for this next one.
I didn't go yet.
There's so many more questions.
Yeah, James has to go because of me, goddammit.
James hasn't
Yeah, Dom. Stop changing people's terms, man. Come on.
Yeah, Dom. Stop cutting in line.
Alright, what do we got?
Archive, main, or trivia?
Oh, I got one. Alright, number 20.
We haven't done any trivia ones.
Alright, fine, we'll do trivia.
We only did like 2.
Oh, we did. Oh, okay.
There's our trivia.
Alright, 20. I crossed off 21 because we already covered that.
Actually, 21 we did not cover. It was regarding Capcom.
Yeah,
no, we covered the announcement. We did not cover the
question.
Them like constantly spamming Resident Evil and Street Fighter and how that could affect them.
Oh, okay. I'll just uncover the question then.
You might as well just after this. You might as well just cut out the whole thing. But I guess we can make this a quickie. My opinion on this obviously is Capcom. You're a big company. You have plenty more franchises outside of Resident Evil and Street Fighter. At this point, I think Street Fighter has been milked to death, if you want to ask me.
I think this is it for Street Fighter, to be honest.
Yeah, like James and Dom have already pointed out, though, like Onimusha. Where's more Onimusha games?
You know, where's more Onimusha?
Where's that new
Devil May
Chaos
Cry
Legion,
back on its feet?
Where's Alex?
Dino Crisis.
Oh, yeah,
Crisis.
Dino Crisis. I will say this, in regards to Resident Evil, it's a little bit more understandable because it's the 20th anniversary, so obviously they want to try to, you know, push that series a little bit more because of that, and that makes a little bit more sense, but at the end of the day, that doesn't mean that they should just ignore all their other franchises while they're pushing that franchise.
Isn't Resident Evil 7 like their last one?
I don't know. They
That's
haven't confirmed
rumored,
anything.
but they haven't confirmed anything.
Wasn't 6 supposed to be the last one?
No.
You want to know another game that actually...
During I think it was E3, they were saying, like, you know, they would be going up to, like, Resident Evil 14 or something like that.
No.
That's a good idea.
Oh, no.
You want to know another game that actually was recently released for the PS Vita?
What?
Breath of Fire 3.
That's a good game.
Yeah, what about Breath of Fire, Capcom?
Rubino said they basically dropped Mega Man off a cliff.
They did.
Yeah, Mega Man, I'm sorry, Nintendo gives, if they don't censor it, Nintendo gives them more credit or more attention than Capcom ever did.
I disagree with that.
Ain't gonna fix that ass.
But it's not so bad that Mega Man's dead because we still got Mighty Number 9, right?
Man, fuck off.
Shut the fuck up.
You mean delayed number 9?
Oh,
yeah, Mighty Number Delay.
Reapers, screw you.
Nah, man.
What was the question that you were going to ask, James?
I guess I'll do a trivia question. No, I'll do a trivia question since we only did one.
2, actually.
No, we didn't. Just one.
Huh?
Yeah, we did.
Wait.
We did supporting
never mind, never mind.
characters
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
one that Dom did.
Alright, let me see. Oh, I guess I could do the one that I submitted.
No.
What do you think about the
Yeah,
rumor
really
that Street? Oh wait, shut up. What do you think about? I swear to God, Levy. I was gonna say, what do you think about the rumor that Street Fighter V will only be censored in Europe and not North America / Japan?
Good. Fuck those Europes. Shout out to Satilius.
I think that's stupid.
I think it's dumb.
It was just a rumor.
Censorship should not happen to anybody. No one should have their titties
Well,
censored.
James would like that because he hates Armika.
What?
Oh, are they censoring the Armika
It's
stuff?
true.
I will bow down to that booty.
So are they censoring Armika?
You heard it last, folks.
I'm wondering
James will
if
bow
this
down
is
to a
more
man's
of a.
blood.
Go ahead, Dark.
What are you saying, Dark?
I'm wondering if this is more of a negative influence by, not necessarily just the European Union and UN, more or less just trying to flex their metaphorical muscles, as you could say, and try and exert a bit of control rather than there actually being anything considered controversial or actually worth censoring.
Yeah, like I think that is really strange that they're like censoring Armika when all things are considered. That's kind of how her character looks. That's kind of how her character acts. You know, she's this sort of, you know, very flashy wrestler. So, I mean, obviously, seeing that in 3D from 2D, you know, there's gonna be some skin, but there's always been skin like that in Street Fighter. So I think that in this day and age, basically the main thing
It's
is
hypocrisy.
if there's something shown that nobody like really complains about, then people are gonna want to get that censored out for some godforsaken reason, and the devs cave because I guess they don't want to lose any sales.
No, they don't buy the games.
I that's the thing. Like these people that complain
Everybody
about
has an ass. Why is this a big deal?
but the thing is, these people that complain about this probably never don't play or they don't know the characters. So I don't understand the point. Like why
I
would
can guarantee you, Ren, that they're the people that don't play the games.
Yeah, why would you cater to a certain group of people that aren't really into the games like that, and they complain about the slightest thing or they don't know how the character operates? It makes no sense.
Renegade, that's the problem with the gaming industry as a whole today, with these fucking people that complain about anything. Like, you get these fucking social justice warriors that don't ever play, they don't know anything about these games. They're just looking for something to complain about, and they want to just force it to get shut down or have it changed, etc. And that's like, I don't know, it's everywhere with
They're all cancer.
Yeah, it's like, oh my gosh, she has a finer ass than me. Censor it.
Bitch, get on the treadmill.
Oh my gosh, she's wearing skimpy clothing that I'll never wear because I'm a fat ass.
You joke about that, but all these people are essentially just land whales, or they're fucking just in some way unattractive. Like,
why do you think I just said the
they're
second
insecure
part?
as
They can't
fuck,
wear,
and they don't like that there's a character that looks better than they do.
Yeah, it's like,
I got a solution. Bitch, get your fat ass on the treadmill and turn it up to max speed.
Do you honestly think they'll listen? Hey, yeah,
I don't give
do
a
you
shit.
honestly think they'll listen to you, James? They won't listen to shit.
I know they won't listen.
Stop being ableist.
I'm sure you're
Oh, too
enabling.
many people talking.
James, you're
what's funny
enabling.
is
Stop it.
It's not my fault I'm speaking the truth. Get on the
You're
treadmill.
enabling it. Stop
Can I
it.
say something?
Go ahead, Dom.
No.
I was gonna say that, you know what's funny is that a lot of them like to complain about fictional characters, yet, you know, they don't look at reality, and it's like, I don't know, I find it kind of weird that they're jealous over fictional characters. You know, like...
You want to know why they go after fictional characters? Because their safe space is fictional.
The only thing I'm gonna say on this is I think stuff like that is absolutely ridiculous. If you play the game, if it's not like gratuitous, then I do think that it doesn't deserve to be censored. Play the games, know the characters, and the only way you're gonna get a real man is if you sell your DualShock 4 up the punani.
He's a man.
Hashtag bring that ass back.
Bring that ass back.
Bring.
Hashtag ass gate.
Are we good to do the final question for tonight, I guess? Or
I guess we can do that. How many questions
You guys
do
a
we
bunch
have
of
left?
scrubs, man.
Well, I say at least two.
I say two more, and I think a 3-hour podcast would be acceptable.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
I'll
be doing number 13.
Okay.
Deep Silver has announced that Mighty Number 9 will once again be delayed from its February 9th release to sometime in late spring of 2016 after the CEO of Concept, Keiji Inafune, cited bugs inside the network modes, which I don't understand why a single-player game needs online network modes, but that's beside the point. And specifically problems with matchmaking after 3 delays. Are you still looking forward to playing this game?
Wait, why does the game have matchmaking?
I don't know.
I'm going to be pirating it. Fuck you.
I'm gonna say yes and fuck Mega Man. There you go. It's like nah.
Yo ho ho.
You're just triggering all the Mega Man fans out there, including the Mega Man X fans.
I haven't. Again, I'm not I'm not huge into Mega Man. I don't know too much about the series. But from what I've seen of like the development or just the things that have gone on with Mighty Number 9, I'm not even a fan. I'm just kind of concerned how that's going to turn out.
Number 9.
Because the whole thing with Dina, the whole Dina controversy, and just the development hell it's been through. It's been delayed so many times. I don't know. I mean, it could turn out to be good. I have no idea, but I'm not sure. At this rate, it's just kind of like we're just playing the waiting game. We don't know how it's going to be.
Yeah.
And if it's been through so many delays, then that's not usually a good sign. But I know there have been games that have been through delays. It turned out to be great. But
yeah, like
those are kind of few and far between, though. So
yeah. Like some people seem to get the impression that a game got delayed, it'll be improved. Not for Love Potion number 9. That's just that's a joke right at this point.
Also, in other quick news, Uncharted 4 has been delayed until May the 10th, I believe. Just getting that out there.
Yeah, and we loved your reaction to that.
I was kind of pissed, but now that I think about it,
I mean, it's good because they get to iron out all the bad stuff.
Yeah.
Fuck off, Reapers.
They get extra time, so
I kick out Reapers.
That's true. Even he agreed with me.
Okay, I'm sorry, but that looks like Brock from Venture Brothers.
All right,
but I want my Uncharted 4, and I want my Mankind Divided, and I want them now.
All right, as I was saying before Levy decided to go on a tangent, I was saying that my initial reaction was basically knee-jerk. I was saying, oh, you motherfuckers, you delayed the game. But now that I think about it, I do think that gives them more time to flesh things out and to work out the kinks. So, yeah, I don't mind. It's crazy, though. I think this is the 4th or 3rd delay, so that's kind of why I reacted like that. I'm still looking forward to it. And like I said, the multiplayer has been really fun.
Yeah, make the game as good as it can be. That's all I have to say about it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So, the final question, does anyone want to do it, or could I do it?
Could I try number 20?
Yep.
Sure, go ahead.
You do it, you're the host.
Well, I guess I'll ask that as the last one then. I don't mind one more.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, say that 2 more ago.
Sorry about that, not trying to put a kink in things.
No, go ahead.
With the shaky launch of Street Fighter V, what are your thoughts on servers crashing on day one and lack of significant features like arcade mode, etc.? Also, if you have played Street Fighter V, what is your overall opinion and thoughts of the news and core game itself?
It's really good. It's really good.
Here's my opinion. You guys are over entitled, and you should be thankful that Capcom made it, and they make mistakes.
Listen to this guy.
Don't reference that.
Listen
piece
to
of
him.
Shit.
I know you're talking about. Oh my god. Oh, the man with 0 gamer score? Okay.
If I had to be honest, I think it's a good game, but it's covered in shit right now.
What game was it?
Street Fighter V. Like it. There's a good game in it, but there's so much that needs to be fixed right now.
Better start digging.
As multiplayer is good, they just need to like bring all of the DLC characters into the roster and like bring Sagat back. I don't know where the fuck he is.
Bring Adon back.
They said he played too much like a Shoto, so they didn't want him in.
It's their fault.
I think a lot of the.
Instead, we got
Go ahead.
Fang, aka Mr. Atomical Bird.
I'm still doing the Street Fighter V giveaway.
Mr. Pencilhead Dick. He looks like either a pencil or a dick, one or the other.
I think a lot of the day one issues kind of, and as well as a lot of the DLC, speak to the bigger issue that's been going on with this game and franchise is that Capcom clearly does not. I don't think they have the passion for this game or series that they used to, and this is an example of just looking at something as a way of getting money rather than actually trying to do your best to have a product that is not only acceptable people, meets our expectations, but maybe try and go above and beyond that.
An even bigger issue that this is reflective of their business practices they so love to pull all the time. Not to going back to DMC, but DMC 4 is half finished because they decided to rush it out the fucking door.
Great.
And this isn't and that's not the only game they've screwed up besides those two. I'm pretty sure. RE5 was cut for stupid reasons as well.
Yep, it was actually going to be a survival horror game at one point too.
Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed they removed the element where the sun can kill you.
Oh, dehydration.
Yeah, dehydration.
Yeah, like there's all these good ideas in all these games. They get cut because we need to rush it. Why do you need to rush it?
Yeah.
What's the
Wait,
point?
son can kill you?
Money.
That's so stupid.
No, not even. No, you would make more money with a finished game.
That's why delays are good sometimes.
Yeah, if you take your time and, work with the game instead of just rushing it out of the door, which is definitely the case in Street Fighter's part because they were definitely catering to the Evo kids, I think that it would be a more fleshed out product that way. Like, I said this before when we were having a discussion about this off air, but people look at all aspects of a game, not just one particular point. So, yeah, the gameplay is a part of it, but there's the replay value, there's the voice acting, there's the story, there's all this sort of amalgamation of features rolled into one. So it's not just about one particular aspect if you like it or not. It's also going to be about everything else that appeals to certain gamers a bit more than others.
And as far as I'm aware, most pro players don't even play online. For the ones that go to tournaments, they only play offline. So it's kind of stupid to do that anyway.
Yeah.
Exactly. No, if they wanted to have Street Fighter V at Evo, just give Evo a custom build and let the pros train on it.
No.
Exactly.
Too much work.
Because they're not going to give it. They're not going to give that build to like all the Evo players. They're just going to give it to like the main guys, which are like not that many.
It is kind of isolating everyone else out. So I kind of agree with that.
That's why they did.
Well, they want people to play and just set up demos then at the Evo. Just do something. Ain't that hard. After all, we did have the beta for like how many months? So it's not really isolating.
Well, I don't think that. Well, I put it like this: I don't think the game should suffer because of it, because of stuff like that. If it's so easy to do, they should do it, and then they wouldn't be getting stuff like these low sales in Japan.
And they have Sony's funding, so what the fuck?
And Sony's funding. If they have all this stuff, then it just should be done, and then they could just work on their core product later. I don't think that they should butcher that just because a couple of people want to play in a tournament. I understand that Evo's hype, but definitely don't compromise on your vision. Yeah. So I guess I'll answer the last question.
The final question of the night.
The final countdown.
Where's Alex?
Alright, while Levy sounds like he's motorboating a seal, I guess I'll do this. So,
okay. Says the person that fucks pandas.
Renegade is creative imagination. I swear to God.
He has a weird imagination. He thinks that the gay is shit.
Oh, fuck off! You're the one that said you were fucked with bullet hole from Lyndon B. Johnson or some shit.
What the fuck?
AKA the one reason why you fuckers keep me around.
Anyways, before we die, Ren, final question.
Alright,
I'll fucking commence.
I got it. Alright, so this is from Mork. What are your thoughts on the government possibly stepping in to limit in-game spending for games like free-to-play that has all those purchases?
Can I say one thing?
What?
No.
Oh, Canada.
What the hell?
Your games are cheaper than ours are.
Shout out to a certain Canadian.
Shout out to a country. I want to move there. That's the case.
I would say when it comes to this, I think that's actually a good thing because we have often times heard where, a kid takes their parents' credit card, they spend too much on it and overdraw, and then they can't return that money back for some reason because of some bullshit policies. So I think that there should be a certain price point. They can say, here's a certain price point you can pay for this. You can only buy this amount for this particular time or whatever. Like you can't buy this particular amount for a week or whatever. Because you've bought X amount already.
Yeah, makes sense. I mean, it'll help when it comes to like credit card, like credit theft and all that.
I also think that because this is this kind of also applies to like digital, anything really digital. What they really need to apply is a return policy for games as well.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Steam refund.
Yep. I actually remember this. How there was a guy I watched streaming. I think it was Proton John. There was a guy who liked his stuff, like watched him, and him and the guy who was a big fan of his actually gifted him like a shitload of games. But however, he wasn't paying with his money. Instead, he stole his mother's credit card and he bought all the games. He gifted it to that one person.
Wow, what an evil little shit.
So John had to give back. I think it was like 50 games.
Fuck, man.
Yeah, because the guy because he wanted to show how big of a fan he was, and it's like, ow, okay then, that's kind of dumb.
My opinion on the subject is cut and dry. I think that, of course, it's going to be received as anti-consumer because it's like you want to go in there, you want to get something, but at the same time, if it gets like limited or if they decide to take the ability to refund away from you, it's like, well, what is the point? Like, why would you want to buy a game without even considering the possibility of not even liking it, not even taking it back? So the fact that they want to limit stuff like this is absolutely ridiculous.
I think it's up to people to be responsible for themselves.
I do think that
if you're not going to do the research of the game and you end up buying it anyway and end up hating it, it's your own dumbass fault.
Fuck it. Just get rid of free-to-play games. Fuck those things.
I was getting to that point. I was going to say that I don't disagree with you guys when you say that there should be some consumer knowledge base about what they're exactly buying, but I don't think that the option should be wholly stripped away because, like I said, there might be a person dissatisfied with the product. There might be the person that want to take it back. There might be the person that, they don't really care to research, but they go out and buy it anyway. And if they go out and buy it and then they don't like it and, the customer support is terrible, I think that reflects bad on the store and the company in general.
Yeah, like, my opinion is pretty much similar to Ren's. Like, there should be some, like, obviously people need to be responsible with what they're doing with their money. But at the same time, like, for example, with Steam Refund, there should be some kind of, anti-fraud or whatever the fuck thing there, or some kind of refund system to try to get people's money back if they made a bad investment or something like that. Like, that should be there at the same time.
Yeah, because I swear, like, if I was in a situation where I wanted to check up on my account and I got anti-frauded pretty much and someone bought a whole bunch of shit on my account and the safeguards weren't in play there, I would be fucking pissed. I would be like, you know what? If they're going to be like this, then I'm never shopping at this place again.
Yeah, that's something with my friend actually happened where somebody got into his Origin account and used his credit card and bought a bunch of shit on there. So there needs to be some kind of safeguards in place for stuff like that.
Yeah.
I agree with there being safeguards, but I question it going beyond that just because you start getting into the issue of the government or some other group telling you exactly what you should be doing at a certain time. I'm just kind of leery when government gets involved in a lot of different things.
I do think it also needs to be moderated accordingly because, you know, I'm not gonna lie, some people out there, their actions really aren't justified. Like, there could be some people, some assholes out there to be like, you know, I'm refunding this game and all that, and they never bought the game or stuff like that. So I do believe that particular safeguards should be in place so not only the customer is satisfied, but also that they don't like fuck the system or cheat that as well, because you know some people out there can be just as slimy as the developers themselves.
Also, another thing that you should do, if the guy ends up refunding it, it doesn't go to the guy that was getting the refund, it goes to the person that bought it originally.
Yeah, the person that bought it, not your friends, not the person that your family's sharing with, because you can do that shit on
it's the person that bought you the game, because it'll be really shitty if you're like, oh hey, you got me this game I didn't want, I'm gonna refund it later so I can get the money for myself. That would be kind of pointless.
Yeah.
And if your kid spends a whole bunch of money because you gave them your iPod or your freaking phone, then if your kid is stupid enough to do that, then just don't give them your fucking phone.
Or just don't give them your credit card, period.
Yeah, why? Why? If you, like I said, it
Because
goes
parents
back,
are stupid these days.
Parents are giving their kids their credit card.
and it goes back to what you guys said, where it's like there has to be some sort of responsibility in there
Look,
on the
people
side
have
of
to
the
be
buyer.
people have to be responsible themselves. That's the bottom line. That's how it works in the world.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that, because like, you know, first time, you know, shame on them, and then the second time, if you keep on doing it, then you're an idiot because you're not really monitoring all your assets accordingly.
I hate to diverge a little bit here, but like that also goes along with parents buying their children games and they don't pay attention to the rating of the game, and then they come back later and complain about how the game is too violent, but yet you bought little fucking Timmy Grand Theft Auto, and you know you
It's
didn't
not like they
fucking,
can't read the right side of the no. What is it?
The bottom
left side of the box.
Yeah,
Yeah,
bottom left
you can't
side
look
is
down
like
for 2
you're rated M for mature.
I'm just gonna say, ladies and gentlemen,
general parental responsibility. It's just,
I would have been like
not even there anymore.
I would have been like,
Parental
excuse me, madam,
guidelines,
did you
what's
fail the
that?
alphabet?
shush. I'm gonna simply say, ladies and gentlemen, this is why the ESRB exists.
No, my parents can't read
I
English,
even
so
hear, like, whenever I do go into GameStop, I hear them fucking
No
advertising about how, you know, oh, look at the ESRB, it exists, and it's like, you know, you should already know this.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying that because people should be able to read. This is why this stuff exists, because people should be able to read. You know, you see Grand Theft Auto, you see even the titles, the covers themselves should be a good indicator of the game that you're buying.
But
So
here's
what?
But here's the thing, though. Even though the ESRB exists, there are parents out there that don't even give a fuck about what they get. Like, they'll just let the kid get anything, just as long as the parent says okay.
Here's my point. I'm not gonna get deep into this, but this is
the only thing I would say is just that I kind of would say, like, for games like Grand Theft Auto or anything that deals with like violence or something that deals with real life themes, I would say don't really sell that to the kid, even though the parent says yes.
Okay, I'm just gonna simply say this for the people that do this. Like I said, titles and the game covers themselves and the back of the box should show off what sort of activity is going on within the game. None of this has been really deceptive from what I've seen so far. I know some things can be misleading in terms of tone and everything, but none of that has been misleading as far as what I seen. So I think that it personally comes to what someone told me once, where some parents just don't care. I think it's bad parenting. Some people are like, you know what, I'm just gonna get little Timmy here GTA 5 so it could he could shut up while I like fuck his mother's brains out or something.
Yeah, well, that's kind of the sad thing about it, is they use these games as a way to like babysit their fucking kids because they don't want to take care of them themselves.
Stop buying little Timmy Call of Duty, goddammit.
Yeah.
Because he'll learn such language.
Yeah,
like
Renegade
dick cheese.
will go bang his mom.
I hope call his mom a faggot and get grounded.
Instead, you should give their kids Cool Cat Saves the Kids. Give them something so terrible they'll laugh at it.
I would just like give them a bad game, and then I was like, you know what? You sit here and play Ride to Hell for 2 hours.
No, better. Here's Bubsy 3D. Have fun.
Oh my god.
It builds character.
The kind of parent that.
No, I would. Here's what I would do with my kid. If my kid starts acting up, they want to play their like M-rated games. Take those away. Your punishment: play Bubsy 3D and finish it.
Go play Sonic 06 and not die.
Ooh.
Play Sonic.
Every day you lose in that game, you get grounded.
Fuck Sonic.
If you play. If you think of something good about it, then I will release your punishment.
Yeah.
But Daddy, there's nothing good about it. Think of something.
Yeah. Over here, I'll be fucking your mother's brains out while you do that.
She'll be calling me
Good Lord, Renegade.
Hey, I was the one that said that, not him.
So, I guess it's about the time to do outros. This has been... The podcast has been going on for 3 hours and 23 minutes, so...
Because they're a bunch of case owls, want to stay a little longer.
So, we
welcome
have...
to the Case Out Club, faggot.
Yeah, fuck you, Brendan. The hell?
Welcome, casuals.
So, what's wrong with you, Jelly?
So we will save... We got most of the main questions down. We will save some of them for archive, obviously, if we didn't get to them. We tried to answer as many as we could. We'll talk more about the Nintendo NX 2 weeks from now, because I'm pretty sure people want to hear about that, our thoughts on that.
I'm sure they do.
Yep. But signing off, I guess we can start with Mr. Levy the Amish Man. Where can we find you, dude?
Just find me on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Ask, Tumblr. I'll be posting a lot of SJW shit because I'm triggered about my life and everything. So I hate the way I look.
You can find Renegade there.
Premium member of
you can find him there looking at pictures of pandas.
You can find him on Street Fighter X Tekken as box art Mega Man or whatever the fuck that is.
I thought that was Reapers, dude.
That's Reapers, man. What are you talking about?
Nope, that was Levy. Fuck him.
Nah, I don't like. Hey, that Mega Man sucks. I don't want that Brock Samson wannabe Mega Man. Fuck you.
Brock Samson.
He said, "Get that."
That's what he looks like.
Here.
Look at it.
Brock Samson.
Alright, I guess we can get to the next person, which is Dom. Where can we find you, buddy?
Well, you can find me on YouTube and on Google Plus and on Twitter as BioDevilDom, and then over on Twitch you can find me as Dom241996. Usually I talk about various different games that I'm into. I haven't been streaming lately, but I'll be trying to stream games like RE0, Yakuza 5, and various things like that.
More Onimusha.
Oh yeah, I definitely have to stream some more Onimusha sometime in the future. I have to get a component to HDMI converter because for some reason my capture card does not want to work with my PS2. But, you know,
if Renegade can help out with that,
I could try. And Levy changed his picture, of course. But I guess this outro is going to be a little bit long, but I guess I'm going to say just, keep it concise. But as I said, we have Samurai here from The Tester, Season 2. And before you do your outro of where can we find you and, stuff you're doing, etc., and things with gaming, I just wanted you to give a little bit of an outro saying how was your experience on The Tester and what would you recommend for young and upcoming gaming testers. Like, do you think that the route that they should take is reality television, or do you think that if they believe in themselves so much that they should definitely go at it and pursue it much harder with stuff like school and connections and things like that?
Well, my experience on The Tester, personally, I thought it was a decent experience overall, but at the same time, I felt that there was still much to be desired from it all. As far as like the way I feel future gamers should go about like actually trying to get a job with testing and stuff, I feel like they should, they should focus more on actually either going to school for, their ideas, like for example, video game design, which wasn't at our institute when I first started. I had to go in for media arts and animation, but yeah, I think they should do that. They should go to human resources, just figure out any other alternative than like the whole like reality television thing because all of that is just smoke and mirrors, to be honest.
Yeah.
And if you want to know where you can find me at, you can find me at YouTube at Albumera. You can find me on Tumblr at Albumera. You can find me at Twitter at Terrence Watson. You can find me at my Facebook fan page at facebook.com/The Cutting Edge Starring Samurai. Literally all over the place, and the type of stuff I upload on YouTube, it's whatever's clever, you know. So yeah, that's
nice
just how it is. All right, thank you.
You're welcome. No problem, man. Darkstalkers, where can we find you? What you do, man?
Right now, you can find me on Twitter at Darkstalkers47. I tend to post a few things on there, but with any luck, I should be getting a YouTube channel up and running soon to begin a playthrough of Disgaea for PC.
Nice.
Awesome.
Good.
He's putting the LPs in his name to good use.
It's good.
Yes, he is. We should give you cookies.
Good job, Brother Dark.
Alright, Mr. Captain Chaos, one of the co-hosts of the TCP podcast. Where can we find you?
You can find me at Captain Chaos on YouTube. That, however, is a space between Captain Chaos. I mainly do Let's Plays, and I occasionally do reviews. I also do a variety of different stuff, so if that's what you're into, you'll probably find something to like there. I also have a Twitter by the same name, Captain Chaos. However, that is without a space in between Captain and Chaos. So yeah, you can find me on there as well.
Zero for the O.
And a zero for the
By the way, where's
for the handle? Twitter handle.
By the way, where's my money, Chaos? I done most of your Let's Plays with you.
This guy's trying to extort people
man.
live on there.
Exposes, man.
Okay, John Rambo. I'll reimburse you for the gas.
Man.
Alright, let's get to Mr. Reaper. I know he wants to get off jacking out the 8-on, so where can we
Shut
find
up.
you?
Anyways, you can find me at Twitter, Reapers240, where you can find me shitposting on everybody and occasionally talking to some voice actors.
Oh yeah, we have that coming up pretty soon. We're interviewing
Excited for that.
Miss Bonnie Gordon and her partner, Miss Jessica Cavello.
AKA Mika Nadeshiko from Street Fighter V.
Yep. That's gonna be hype. I can't wait to talk to them. They've been so down to earth, but we're gonna get to the next outro, which is Mr. Fox Girl World Order. Where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter at DevHunterJames, and you can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/TheHeroJames, and you're on the TCP.
Awesome.
And ruling all the Fox Girls, yes.
Yeah, he even made a goddamn meme about that. So, what about you, Mr. Brandon, Mr. Arcane Magic? Where can we find you, buddy?
Well, just on Twitter. You can find me on, of course, Twitter on Arcane Magic 514. Of course, you catch me chilling with the TCP and the Bio Devils, and that's it.
And last but not least, Mr. Daybreaker Rain, one of our newest regulars. Where can we find you, man?
You guys can find me on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, preferably under the same name, Daybreaker Rain. Post a lot of gaming related stuff, post a lot of lewd anime stuff if that's your thing. I also am participating in Extra Life this year. My next stream for Extra Life will be up on March 26th, I believe. It's the last Saturday of every month, so come by me at Daybreaker Rain on Twitch TV and come check out the stream. I don't know what I'll be streaming just yet, but I streamed PC games last time, so might do a little bit more to that.
And as the host of the podcast, you can find me on Twitter at Operative Ren. You can find me on YouTube at Renegade Operative. You can find me on Twitch at Renegade_Operative. I will be doing a session of TCP plays with the TCP members. We will be doing like Uncharted 4, and we'll be doing Bloodborne. So I think that's definitely going to be fun. I've been getting kind of wrecked in that game as far as...
Yes, you have.
Yeah. Well, we all been getting wrecked.
No, just you.
Except King. King is the only one that did not die in our last session, so...
yeah, Panda Officer's having a good time with Bloodborne.
Shut the fuck up, you bamboo-sucking jackass.
Yeah, that's you, man.
Oh yeah, speaking of that, how far are you guys in it?
We haven't progressed past ROM. We stopped after ROM. We might play today.
We might play today.
I'm probably not gonna play tonight because I am not really feeling that well. So
And with all of that out of the way, good night, guys.
Well, yeah, go ahead and slander the rest of the podcast. Say good night
TCP is
to
where
our
the party's at.
Say good night to our
No
guests.
waiting line.
Take care, audience.
Take care.
Oh, wow. Take care,
See you
everybody.
guys. Bye.
Canada.
Canada sucks.
Please tell me it's over already.